Happy New Year, everyone. The fantasy football season has come to an end, and now we can go back to watching football for football. Everything on the line for Buffalo this weekend. How will they handle the pressure? And in the NBA, one team in LA seems to be rising above the rest, while the other, not so much. I'm Tom, and welcome to this jam-packed episode of the BallGame podcast. I'm joined by my two co-hosts.
Matt.
I'm Chris. Let's fucking get it.
Let's get it. We are back. We haven't been too consistent lately, but we're gonna get it on track. Life kind of just gets in the way.
I'm cutting you off.
Go ahead.
Because I'm like on edge right now. Sweezy's talking about you guys are late. Pick a side meme. Santos is talking about late. Nick, show them why we're late, please. Get this
shit under control.
Oh no!
What are you doing?
No! All you need to do is press the button.
Boom. Just like that.
Boom.
Now go over there.
Boom.
Yeah.
Boom.
Oh.
Boom.
Boom. Now go over there.
Boom. 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 Boom.
Boom.
Boom. Boom. Boom. Boom.
Hope I don't get fined for that, because NFL players are. Oh.
Hit the rollie still with the rollie on. All right, so yeah, that's why we were late. We apologize. But it's worth it, all right? I promise. Before we get into everything.
Let's get it.
Yeah, before we get into everything, if you like what you see, if you want more, subscribe, ring that bell, like, do all that fun stuff. Follow us on all our socials. Gentlemen, how have we been? How was everyone's New Year?
First, Happy New Year to all of y'all.
Happy New Year.
Appreciate you guys. We are late today, but for a good reason. Chris busted his ass today to make this shit happen. So
Yeah, shout out Chris.
shout out Chris, man. How was your New Year?
I'm having a rough time, bro. I just got over having food poisoning. I think I'm getting sick again, honestly, as I asked you for my own box of tissues. My mouth is in pain. I have to go back to the dentist.
Jesus.
Yeah, I'm having a rough time right
Jesus.
now.
I
but-
texted him because I won Goodfellas. I texted both of you, and I was like, yo, I need $50. And he was like, man,
think
it's
I'd
been a
already
rough
sent it.
week.
I think I
Yeah, I
sent
think
it
you
before
did.
the season or whatever.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, I owe you money. I'm gonna get that too.
Yeah, you're good, buddy. You're good, buddy. You won a fantasy league.
I did.
I won 2 fantasy leagues. Chris, unfortunately, didn't pull one out this year. Have you won a fantasy championship yet?
Not in my life, man.
Fuck, man.
It's coming.
2024,
You're gonna go on a 2019
/25.
Raptors run. And just
like
fucking
Kawhi.
take over.
He's going to turn into Kawhi and win
He's gonna
every
lock in
championship.
next year. Chris is gonna come in next year and be like, yo, this is my year.
Yeah, it's
24.
been
Bro,
a rough
it's the Mamba year. You have to win it. You have to win one this year.
It's been tough because like our schedules, in terms of us being consistent recently,
Yes.
our schedules are busy as fuck. That's number one.
Oh,
Which we're trying
Sweezy
to
won a
clean up.
fantasy league too. Congrats.
Which we're trying to clean up right now. We've all at separate points, and some of us have overlapped, have been sick.
He had food poisoning. I had bronchitis before that.
I felt like
been
I was on
fucked
my
up, yeah.
deathbed for like a solid day, but after that I was good. Before that I was good. Just all over the place. Honestly, we've been all over the place.
Shout
So
out,
it's been-
shout out Vin Volpe won the BallGame league.
Shout out to
Shout
Vin
out
Volpe.
Vin Volpe, man.
Shout out,
Shout out
Vin
to
Volpe.
Vin Volpe.
Still hasn't picked his jersey.
No, I
by the
texted
way.
him. I told him to let me know whenever he's ready.
Yeah,
We'll ship it to his house.
My
yeah.
plan was if I won that, I was gonna pick whoever won me the championship.
That would make sense. Yeah.
I'm buying myself a CeeDee Lamb jersey because CeeDee Lamb is the man, bro.
This guy just said, "Oh,
CeeDee Lamb is the
sleazy."
man.
Can't say that.
Oh my god! Oh,
I was just looking at it, and
God.
it didn't like process what that was. Yeah, it's past my bedtime. I'm sorry. I'm getting crazy.
Nah, he didn't. He didn't say nothing.
It's a little like it's just like
It's on the.
it's treading
it's on
water.
the edge.
You know what
It's
I mean?
on
It's
the
treading
edge. It's
treading
on the
dangerous
edge.
water. So I'm
Definitely on
just
the
not
edge,
gonna. If I have to choose to go there or not go there, I'm gonna choose not.
Yeah,
to.
no, you're
All right.
you're definitely right
All
on
right.
that one.
So our first segment up today. The fantasy football season has come to an end, and it was really a roller coaster this year. Like, it was a crazy year. The highs and lows of being a fantasy football manager are unmatched by any other sort
man.
of feeling in sports. Honestly, it's just like, man, watching that red zone every week. I'm gonna miss it, but watching red zone every week
And sweating.
Who scored? Is it? Yeah, and like fuck,
Like, yo, did Bijan catch a 75-yard screen pass to the end zone?
Nope.
Nope, it was Tyler Algier.
Did Bijan run for 4 yards when I had him in the playoff game? Yeah, he did. That's it. One carry, 4 yards.
He almost costed me playoff games, but
Yeah.
he didn't, you know?
So
We win in
that
spite.
all being said, we are going to give out our picks for our fantasy championship awards. We kind of came up with them ourselves, but they're pretty straightforward. So if we're gonna hop right into that, do we want to start with the big one, the MVP?
I feel like we do because it's fantasy football.
Right.
It's different.
Yeah,
like the
okay.
NFL, you want to save it for last. The NBA, you want to save it for
So
last.
keep it in
Fantasy
mind,
football.
we I'm sure we're gonna like shout some people out, but like we did it based on our personal teams and who won us things, who lost us things,
Yes.
stuff like that. Figure it's more
Who's
diverse
your
that way.
fantasy
Yeah,
football
drop it,
MVP?
drop it, let us
Drop
know.
them in the comments. Let us know because like it's all personalized. Because look, if this guy won you a fucking championship or took you far into the playoffs, that's your MVP. He doesn't need to be everyone's
Absolutely.
MVP. Your MVP. So
All right. So with that being said, I'll start here because I have a pretty obvious one. My MVP is Christian McCaffrey. If there's one MVP in all of fantasy, it's probably the guy who scored the most points, right? But the team I won a championship with, Christian McCaffrey, won me that championship. I mean, he was putting up crazy. What do you have? 24 touchdowns this season. I mean, come on. He might be. Well, he won't be. Should be. Maybe the MVP of the NFL.
the actual MVP.
Yeah. But I'm gonna give you my MVP award, Christian McCaffrey. So you don't need the real one. It's okay. You got mine, brother. Don't worry about it. So yeah, Christian McCaffrey's my MVP.
Chris, I'm curious as to who yours is.
Mine, he was on my BTB team, the only team of mine that made the playoffs. I went with Amon-Ra St. Brown. I drafted him at the 206. He ended up being the wide receiver 3. He only had 2 games this entire season under 14 points. I mean, if you're giving me 14 points every week at minimum, that is the model of consistency. Most of the time, I'm happy with 10 a week. If you give me 10, I'm cool for the most part. He's tied for second in the league in receptions right now at 112, 5th in yards with 1,317, 9 touchdowns on top of that. I mean, Amon-Ra St. Brown, it was just every time he played, which was every game this season, didn't miss any games, which also helps his MVP case. But every time I threw him in my lineup, I knew I was getting 15 points. And I mean, he was the rock of my team.
Yeah, the king of the low floor.
Yeah.
That's what Amon-Ra is for sure.
With a high ceiling to
Yeah.
boot. So
I mean, yeah, if your four is 15 points, I'm taking that. I got that in the second round. Like, hell yeah, I'm
Yeah, that's
taking
how I
that.
felt with McCaffrey. I'm like, McCaffrey's gonna get me at least 18 every week, and like it's just awesome.
it's crazy to me that Amon-Ra didn't make and this is the most bullshit thing ever. The Pro Bowl sucks. Pro Bowl's fucking terrible.
Pro Bowl needs to be
Horrible.
changed.
All that stuff.
Can't believe they let Jalen Ramsey in that bitch.
Like, what is this, bro? It's a popularity contest. It's dog shit. We all know that all pro is the only thing that matters. With all that being said, a man that is going to make the all pro team and my fantasy football MVP on both of my teams that won the championship, CD Lamb. My God. So we all thought Tyreek Hill would, finish the season as the wide receiver 1 in fantasy football because it seemed as though that was the pace that he was
Seemed
taking.
obvious, yeah.
No, he didn't. Because the guy that did is CD Lamb. So after week five, so from week 6 on for the remainder of the season, CD started the season slow. We all know this. Here's the first 5 games of his season. 11.7, 24.3, 10.2, 14.8, 8.9. Not terrible production, but not good production. From week 6 forward, the lowest number of points that CD put up was 16.5. And he had 4 weeks.
Unreal.
4 weeks of 30 or more, with 2 being 40 plus. Actually, 3 being 40 plus. I'm sorry. So, CeeDee Lamb, absolutely my fantasy football MVP, and it helps when a guy goes for 25.2 and 39.2 in their 2 playoff games.
Yeah.
So, in my case, obviously having the bye. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of CD. I feel like is that guy this year where you look at where he went in the draft, which is like the back end. Because I know in one of my leagues I got him at 12-1.
12-1, the 12th round.
12.
112.
Well, 112. Fuck you. Imagine.
Bless you. Getting him in the
and you
12th
look back and you're like, yeah, that makes sense that this guy was a top 3, top 5 receiver, number 1. But
You got him at 12-1 in a one-man league,
12-1
bro.
in a
Congrats.
one-man league. Yeah.
Nice way to be.
Yeah, like people. I'm actually looking at the league now, and our good friend Pete here picked Cooper Kupp over CeeDee Lamb. That's tough.
You know, I heard about your
really-
fantasy misfortune this season.
Our friend,
I've heard about
I'm
your
going to shout
fantasy
him out. Our
misfortune.
friend Pete, big friend of the pod, love him to death.
He's right there.
He is right there. Is in 8 fantasy football leagues. Didn't make a playoffs. Did not make the playoffs in a single one. So if you think your season went bad,
You have
Can't be
to
that bad.
try to be that
yeah,
bad.
it can't be that bad. Me and Trunks were telling him the same thing. Like,
So did you build all your teams similarly?
That was my problem.
Okay, got it. You can do that, and
no,
it can
'cause
succeed
he
because that's
drafted. He kept drafting Cup, Josh Jacobs, Jonathan
all right.
Taylor. Like,
See, yeah,
it was
those are the
not
3
good.
guys.
not good.
Yeah, if you're gonna draft the same guys in all your leagues, at least know that they're locks. Like they're locks to be great.
That could have been the best thing I ever did in my life, though. I could have won.
Yeah, but like you didn't. Bro,
Pete's a high stakes kind of guy.
going
He
in,
is.
Cooper Kupp,
He's a go big or
Jonathan
go
Taylor,
home.
and Josh Jacobs. Like Jacobs was pretty much a guarantee once he got they said that he was gonna play and stuff.
Yeah.
He didn't end up having a good season. Jonathan Taylor was no guarantee. And Cooper Kupp, we knew the injury history. He's no guarantee.
Yeah,
like
yeah. So
I felt
Pete fumbled.
you look at a guy like Tyreek Hill. If you took him in every league, you knew what you were going to get out of Tyreek Hill. CeeDee Lamb, same thing for the most part. Like, did we think he'd be wide receiver 1? No, but like, you knew he was going to be a top 5 to 7 wide receiver.
I drafted him saying this guy could literally be a top 3 receiver.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
but yeah, bro, CeeDee Lamb is my GOAT, and I'm buying his jersey. I don't give a shit that I'm a Giant fan. I am absolutely buying a CeeDee Lamb jersey. This man has made me quite a bit
Yeah,
of
if
money.
if he won you money, you definitely should buy him a jersey.
Buy him
Sure,
a
he's got
jersey.
plenty of
So
them.
I looked
Yeah,
back
fucking
at it
up right now.
actually when we did our preseason fantasy rankings. I was the only one out of the 5 of us at that time who had CeeDee Lamb as a top 5 fantasy wide receiver this year.
Did I have him at 6?
Probably.
I think I did.
Probably had him at
That's
6.
crazy.
Yeah, I was the only
Wow.
one who had him top 5.
That's wild.
I
Good
wasn't
call,
on yet,
Chris.
right?
Good fucking
No,
call.
you
No.
You were still in the womb.
The only other guy that I want to give a shout out to, if you guys want to put a guy on the side, Amari motherfucking Cooper.
All right, bro.
If only for putting up 51 in a playoff game. If only for that. That's it. 51 and 25, I think, in the playoff game
Earlier in
prior
the
to that.
season, I traded him and Mahomes for Jamar Chase and Trevor Lawrence, and I felt really good about it.
You can't talk about him. Well, I mean, maybe Jamar gets mentioned at some point, but he just
Jamar was like, Burrow came back, and it looked so good,
Yep.
and
Looked
then,
promising.
and then it didn't.
It really did. Yeah.
But so the
All right,
next
we move to
award
our next
we have
award.
here is the I Know Ball Award. And this goes to the player that maybe you were high on that other people weren't, and you hit on that pick, your best value pick in fantasy football. So I'll start here again. I just want to see what round I got this guy. And I think this is a no-brainer. It's Raheem Mostert. You guys know where I drafted Raheem Mostert in the Goodfellas League, where I won the championship?
Gonna hurt.
Round 13.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know who the pick before him was? Joe Cruz selected the Washington Commanders defense.
That's insane.
Right before
Oh,
That's absurd.
Raheem Mostert. I mean, I took Darnell Mooney, Rashad Bateman before him. Like, it's crazy. Raheem Mostert was I don't know if he finished the RB2. I think he was the RB3.
He's the RB3 right
Yeah,
now.
right?
I also had Raheem Mostert for this one. And in the league I had him, I drafted him at the 1107.
Being a
But still, that's the 127th overall pick.
being a Raheem
like, that's
Mostert
nuts.
owner in fantasy was like every week, I got to trade this guy. I got to trade this guy. I got to trade this guy. And I'm trying, bro. I tried to get Josh Jacobs, Tony Pollard. I tried to get all those guys, and everyone just kept telling me the same thing. Devon Achane's going to come back. Raheem's going to get hurt. Mostert missed one game last week, that all season. That was it. And like was an actual really good running back and just kept scoring touchdowns. And it was just a lock every week. You kind of knew. 18 rushing touchdowns, 3 through the air. 21 total touchdowns on the season. I mean, it was a home run of a pick, Raheem Mostert. I just didn't expect anything near that in the 13th round. I wasn't even really high on him coming into the season. He was just kind of there, and I was looking at my options, and I'm like, you know what? RB1 and a good offense. I'll take it.
Yeah.
It was hard to be high on him in the preseason because we all thought Jonathan Taylor was going to Miami.
That's true
I
too.
was sold that Jonathan Taylor was going to Miami. Actually, I remember I kept telling Joe Cruz, "Don't draft Devon at HN because Jonathan Taylor's coming." I didn't think that Raheem Mostert would be this good. No. Honorable mention: Nico Collins.
Yeah.
For sure.
I don't know exactly where I draft. Late, later than most.
I'm looking
Like,
in
he
this
was-
draft. He went in the 13th round. I got him off waivers in one league.
Yeah, like late. So shout out Nico Collins, my boy.
So that's your pick?
Well, it was Mostert, but
Oh,
I'm
okay.
gonna give
All right, fair.
some love.
For me, it's a guy that wasn't even drafted like ridiculously late. And I ended up having him in both my championship leagues as well. Alvin Kamara. Super underrated commodity because of the suspension early in the season. And then upon him coming back, all he was doing was dropping 20 piece after 20 piece and being incredibly consistent. But I will say there's a caveat here. In the 2 games that mattered the most, he had his 2 worst games of the season. That was a bit of the issue there. Aside from that, Kamara was incredibly consistent throughout the entirety of the season, was getting 20-plus almost on a weekly basis, and if you went 0 running back strategy and ended up with an Alvin Kamara and, like, say a certain other guy that we're going to mention at a different point in this podcast, you might have won your league. You may very well have won your league. So, yeah, I got to give it to Kamara, my best value pick overall for me personally in the leagues that mattered the most to me. So
Listen to the running backs I drafted in Goodfellas, and this just like proves the theory. You get good running backs, you own everything. McCaffrey at 2, Breece Hall in the 4th, James Conner in the 5th, Pacheco in the 9th, and Mostert in the 13th.
yeah,
Yeah, that'll do it.
James Conner's the jersey I want because he put up like 4
220
straight
yeah,
four
yeah,
straight
yeah.
20-point games.
Yeah.
So I'm getting a James Conner jersey. I love that guy.
Bro, Connor's a baller.
I love him.
Connor really is. James Conner really
My
is.
brother
a
would
baller.
always be like, you need to get off the James Conner train. Like he's because he had like a bunch of like lull weeks and then just turned into a beast. I love James Conner. That's
He's
my
an
guy.
animal, bro. He got hurt midseason.
He got hurt
too.
midseason, but yeah, like 6 points, 4 points, came back 7, 8, 7. So and then just went on a tear. Shout out James Conner.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, honorable mention, Sam Laporta. Sam Laporta.
Yeah, Sam Laporta.
Honorable
was a good
mention.
pick, bro.
That man, especially because the tight end position is so difficult to get right.
Yeah.
If you got Laporta, you were golden
I'm
for the
curious
remainder
to
of the
see
season.
what happens with the tight end position next season. Because like no way you're picking Kelsey in the first round next year. after this year.
No.
And like Mark Andrews too.
I'm
and
curious-
you have guys like guys that you can get off waiver wire. Like I got Tucker.
Yes.
I was playing Tucker Kraft in the playoffs.
Tucker Kraft was
You know what I
doing
mean? Like,
great.
You know what I mean?
Super
I picked him
consistent.
Up off waivers like 2 weeks ago.
He won me a championship in Dynasty to
Yeah,
help me
he
win a
helped- he helped
championship
me
in
win, too.
Dynasty.
This next award is called the Thanks for Nothing Award. These are guys that you drafted with high expectations or moderate expectations, and they just completely shit the bed. I have a few names written down here, but the guy I want to give a special shout out to, Miles Sanders. What the fuck happened to Miles Sanders? I mean, this guy fell off a cliff. He got beat out. He lost his job to Chuba Hubbard. Chuba's solid. Solid running back.
Elite college back.
Yeah, for sure. The study of Miles Sanders, I'm fucked up. This fall off of Miles Sanders needs to be studied. I mean, this guy, I don't think he had like a single redeemable week. I'm going to check right now because I don't have
I think his max this season might have been 12, to be dead honest with you. I think it was.
He had 11.8 week 1. He had 17 week 3.
Oh.
6, 1, didn't play. 0, 9, bad. RB 51. I drafted him in probably the 4th or 5th round around there, maybe a little later.
I figured that.
Yeah, Miles Sanders. Come on, man. And he was everything.
This fucking kid, Pete, bro. This fucking kid. You are unbelievable. You are actually unbelievable.
But we have a literal child sitting in a chair over here. He just went off camera to cut a biscuit, as he likes to say.
right.
Not even off camera. He's off camera. He's nowhere near a camera or a microphone, and he gets up and walks to the other side of the room to rip one.
Oh my
Jesus
God.
Christ. Honorable mention to Pete's asshole. Anyway, Miles Sanders was injured everywhere in his body this season too.
It wasn't
Like,
even just
that's
that. He just fell off.
No, yeah, he really did. He
He-
had fumbling issue. It was bad, real bad.
Atrocious. And it was crazy because coming into the season, there were the reports that it was like Miles Sanders, 3 down back,
That's what I'm
without
saying, bro.
question,
And
the
then I'm
lead
like,
guy in Carolina.
A rookie quarterback wants to lean on his running back a little bit. It's gonna be perfect.
You know how many people probably like bought low on Miles Sanders, like thinking
Yeah.
that he would
Yeah.
turn it around, only to be sadly mistaken. So probably a bunch of Damian Pierce for Miles Sanders trades happened.
Oh man,
But
I didn't draft Damian Pierce anywhere else. He would have been my pick. But go
Chris,
ahead.
who you got?
Travis Kelce, man.
You had the Kelsey Mahomes.
Travis
stack.
Kelce, dude. The 1 year I draft this guy,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't get it. He got a girlfriend and just forgot and a podcast and forgot about the game. Forgot about what got him here in the first place.
Just give everyone
Got
a
the
mic
Pfizer
these days.
vax and
I
forgot
mean, if
about it.
there's no football, if there's no being a dominant fantasy tight end, there's no Taylor Swift. There's no podcast.
There's no Pfizer.
There's none of that shit without being a good football player. And what? Now because you have all that shit, the fantasy football community doesn't matter. I mean, come on, bro. I just can't believe I wasted a first-round pick and then a second-round pick on his quarterback. Oh,
Who also disappointing in terms of fantasy this season.
Yeah, is the reason I'll never draft a quarterback higher than.
I
the third round
refuse.
again. Yeah.
Unless his name is Lamar Jackson.
Unless
at
it's
this point.
Lamar, Allen, or Hurts, I'd probably
Yeah,
say.
Allen is worth it.
If they're not
Josh is
a
worth it.
pure rushing quarterback, don't draft them earlier than like round.
I'll tell you
5 or
now,
6.
Josh Allen is definitely worth that fucking pick.
Yeah, bro, I was one. I had when I had the 12th pick, I drafted Lamb and Diggs back to back. I was 1 pick away from Josh Allen. I would have came in my pants if I got both of them.
Oh man,
But it's okay.
that's always tough. All right, my pick. Just because I had him in quite a few leagues, and it's not that he was bad. It's just that he wasn't what I drafted him to be, and part of it is circumstances that have nothing to do with him. It's Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson really just took a knife and
No fault of his own.
through no fault of
Yeah.
his own and stabbed it through my heart because I really did think there was a shot. Dean, and it was Dean's fault. Dean really got me to buy in on this dude, Garrett Wilson, and what he was going to be this season. And to be fair, he probably would have been everything and more if Aaron Rodgers was playing. But Garrett Wilson really disappointed me, especially going early in the second round in most of the drafts. And honestly, I'm gonna give a co-award. I'm gonna do this. Damian Pierce is the other one. We just said his name, and he deserves to be mentioned. The fall off of Damian Pierce also has to be studied because in his rookie season, he was awesome. He was amazing. He was creating yards that weren't even there, and it was just the complete opposite this season. Devin Singletary outproduced the shit out of
His
him.
job to Devin Singletary.
And yeah, Damian Pierce in my worst league just absolutely ruined me this season. So I want to read this. This is a team that ended up going like 6-8 somehow, but this was my worst draft. My first 6 picks: Jamar Chase, Chris Olave, Ramondre Stevenson, Damian Pierce, Darren Waller, and Cam Akers were my first 6
I didn't even think of Cam.
picks.
I drafted him somewhere too. I didn't
Cam
think of him.
Akers in the back of the 6th round, right ahead of Isaiah Pacheco. So
Wow.
I had the 2nd overall pick. So yeah. Those are my guys. Thanks for fucking nothing.
Oh, Sleazy said, I didn't have high hopes for DJ Chark, but goddamn, he didn't do shit for me this year. What a random name.
That is so out
DJ
there.
Chark.
Crazy out there.
This is a fire picture. A little screenshot. It's literally me pointing at the camera.
And I'm just like
waving,
smiling like,
show that.
yeah, you need to screenshot
Yeah,
that.
yeah. All right. The next award is, the Unexpected Hero Award. Probably a guy you got off waiver wire, or if you want to do super late in the draft, but I think we're mainly looking at waiver wire here. Probably the shock of the season for me, Kyron Williams. I mean, the guy was on no one's draft board, and even in the NFL, no one people barely knew who he was, and now he's being talked about as the 2nd best running back in the league. It's really crazy how good Kyron is. This guy just did not have a bad week. What is he, the RB4?
And he missed
like 4
3
weeks.
games.
Yeah, that's just absurd. That really is absurd. I got him off waiver wires right after week 1, and Didn't go too far in that league, but he definitely, because that was actually the league I drafted Miles Sanders and Cam Akers. So it was a blessing that I got Kyron off waivers. But yeah, shout out Kyron Williams, man. Straight dog.
Who you got, buddy? Who was your waiver wire hero?
Well, who do you have? You also have Kyron Williams, I'm
Well,
assuming?
Kyron is the easy pick, so I didn't pick Kyron. The other one, yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I have Puka Nacua. I mean, he's on pace to be the best rookie receiver of all time. I mean, I remember the one league I got Puka in, and the question in week 2 that I had was, do I start Puka Nacua or Drake London? And I remember you telling me, like, bro, he's just a 1-week wonder, bro. You got to start Drake London. I was like, all right. And I started Drake London.
Give you 0 that week, right?
And then after that, I never started Drake London again. And it was Puka from there on out. And he's just,
I hope I didn't actually call him a 1-week wonder.
I don't even know how to describe it because he doesn't really have any traits that jump off the screen.
Great hands.
Yeah, he does.
He's tough.
He's good. He's grit, man. And he
Yeah.
just, I hate to say it, but I don't know if he even
He makes
qualifies
contested
for
grit.
this, but plays the game the right way. He just understands angles.
And leverage.
He's just always open. Like he
Finds,
really is.
because he's one of those guys that just knows where open spaces
Yeah.
are and just feels the game in a different way.
And
Like, that's the best way to put it.
It definitely helps having a quarterback that also could fit the ball into any tight open
yeah.
space.
Jesus.
If there's
Stafford,
any
bro.
window, Stafford's going to at least make an attempt to fit that ball in there. So, yeah, Puka Nacua, man.
Yeah.
Again, I feel like I have to have 2 picks here because these guys helped me win a championship. So in my BTB league, everything else was taken care of. All my other positions were elite, but I had 2 positions that I just didn't know how I was going to fill for the remainder of the season, and it was QB and tight end, the one player positions.
I was gonna say there's only 4 positions.
So the other 2, yeah, wide receiver and running back are the 2 most important.
Yeah.
Like if you have those filled, you should be managing to be okay. So one of the guys, Trey McBride. Trey McBride bursted onto the scene, and after Zach Ertz got injured, he became their tight end 1, proved just how different it could be in that offense with an athletic tight end. He helped Josh Dobbs have some of the better weeks. And then obviously Kyler comes back, and Kyler hyper-targeted Trey McBride the same way. So that was a big-time get for me. Thank God he filled my tight end position, plugged him in, and didn't have to worry about it. The other guy, Jordan Love. What a season from Jordan Love. QB 5 on the year for Jordan Love. That's ridiculous. For a guy that people were just picking up to stream on a weekly basis, for me to be able to get him and just plug him in for the remainder of the season, that was a huge get for me as well. Jordan Love, absolutely the Green Bay Packers quarterback of the future, and they did it again. They did it again. Shout out to them, helping me win a title. That is my waiver wire pickups of the
All
year.
right. So this next award is called, shout out Geno Smith. It's called the I Ain't Right Back Award. A guy that
That was impressively horrific.
I'm gonna compose myself here. So I think of words faster than I can say them. So
You're
it
not
just
the only
comes
one.
out
I do that a lot.
mumbled
Yeah, you're not
all
the
the
only
time.
one.
Do that a lot.
So maybe an older guy, been around a while, and people were like, "Man, he's just not doing it for me this year. It's a bad situation. It's this. It's the age. It's the health. Blah blah blah. Whatever." But this
Yo,
guy
lower
ain't
that
right
a little
back.
bit.
Oh,
Fucking idiot.
hello. My pick for this, one of my favorite players in the game, who I unfortunately didn't draft anywhere, but like it was just such an obvious pick for me. It's Mike Evans.
Oh, man, I picked Mike Evans,
Pick Mike
too.
Evans too. Fuck. Yeah, Mike Evans. He was going in what, the 6th, 7th round, and he was picked as the wide receiver 7.
That's exactly what my notes say, actually.
Sick.
Went in about the 6/7th
6th, 7th rounds, wide receiver 7.
Yeah, that's exactly what mine says, too.
Yeah.
And in most leagues, he was drafted around wide receiver 30.
Yeah.
30.
30's crazy.
So,
Oh, man, let me try and think of another one now. though,
so
just
one
to
guy
spice
that
it
comes
up.
to mind for me, people weren't really sleeping on him like that, but like Amari. Amari comes to mind a little bit, even though a lot of people thought he was going to have a solid season.
Amari's
I
like,
wish-
Keenan.
I wish. Yeah,
Keenan
Keenan's a
Allen.
good one.
But people also thought he was going to be great.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone.
I got one. Adam Thielen.
Adam
He
Thielen's a
burned
good
out
one.
towards the end
Adam
of the
Thielen,
season.
bro.
He burned out closer to the
knew?
middle of the season, but like that early season run for Thielen was
Got people a lot of
so
wins.
damn impressive and stacked some wins early. Or maybe you traded high on Adam Thielen. So Adam Thielen is a guy that
Yeah,
like
that's
just
a
an
good
honorable
one.
mention. Adam Thielen is
I would have loved to pick Ken Walker for this because Ken Walker was a guy that I was higher on than everyone else, and a lot of people expected Ken Walker to fall off. And I think when I was looking at it before, he was RB19, but he missed a few games, and that's why he's a little bit lower. But to me, it felt like every time Ken Walker played, he had some really good weeks, bro.
yeah, but the
He's
issue with him is it's so volatile.
Yeah.
Like it was like he'll have a 7-point week and then a 28-point week. Like Ken Walker's awesome. I'm trying to think like older guys too.
Maybe not an
older
older guy,
guys.
but Rashad White.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a good one.
Rashad White. Michael
Yeah.
Pittman.
Michael Pittman's a great one. Yes, Michael Pittman was phenomenal this season. Any running backs? Kamara's another guy that you can include a little. It's again, you could just mention him again. But yeah, I mean, those are honestly some of the guys. I do want to give a shout out to one of the worst picks in fantasy too. This should have been mentioned. Kyle Pitts.
I mean,
Once again.
if you're still drafting Kyle Pitts,
Once
it's your
again,
fault.
Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, if you're still drafting Pitts high, it's your fault.
Unless
you're
he's
the
not
problem.
a Falcon anymore. Once he's off that team,
Or if
draft him in the second
or if
round.
someone else is under center on the Atlanta and on the sideline. I'll get into that.
So yeah,
Shit.
that is that.
That is that.
Another year down, man. It flew.
Yeah, we don't got to do the other
Yeah,
one.
yeah, another year down.
Oh, there was one more?
No,
We came up with it like before
last
the pod.
second,
Oh.
and it was like,
Yeah, yeah.
thanks for ruining, like, thanks for ending my season.
I'll just say fuck you, Arthur Smith. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, thanks, Amari Cooper.
James Cook too actually killed me.
The 37-point week.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
a rough
yeah.
one.
And I had
Rough.
Dak and CeeDee Lamb on that team, and they weren't great that week, but they would have been great the following week. So yeah, it was rough.
Oh,
Fuck you
that's
too,
a
buddy.
Tough one, man.
All right, so that's fantasy football. Always fun. Always a roller coaster of emotion. Usually loses you money, but hey, some of it made out all right.
Thank God it's over.
Yeah,
we could
thank
just
God it's
enjoy
over, and we
football.
could just enjoy football for football.
Unless you gamble, like
Look,
somebody
like
that's
Peter's
sitting
literally
behind the
watching
camera.
making a live bet right now. He's literally watching live betting the Warriors game right now. 100%. Oh, Sleazy said we need to get Peter producer Mike, and I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, and Nick, honestly.
And Nick, yeah, you both need producer.
Just for
Mike, that's
intrusive
sure.
thoughts sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, one day.
Couldn't agree more.
One day
Yeah,
we
when we
shall.
start early,
Not today,
bro.
but one day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely
not
ain't
today.
Look,
today.
look
yeah.
forward to it because it's a great idea. You guys would love it.
It's a
but
little
not
late.
tonight.
It's already past my
Yeah.
bedtime.
All right. Moving into actual football, everything is on the line for the Bills this weekend. Everything. If they lose, they win the AFC. Nope.
Yep.
If they win, they win the AFC East. If they lose,
May very
they
well
miss the
be
playoffs altogether. Possibly. Yeah. The stakes couldn't be higher. The lights couldn't be brighter. What do we think is going to happen?
All right. Can I have the floor?
You
May
can
I
have the floor.
All right.
You have a lot of stress to get off your chest.
So
You have
let's
it.
start. Let's not start with the Bills. Let's start with the team the Bills are playing.
Yeah.
The Miami Dolphins, the team that's currently ahead of them in the AFC East. But like you mentioned, it's winner takes all for the AFC East in this game. My Miami Dolphins, we got embarrassed.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, 56-19. Tyreek Hill dropped a wide open touchdown in the first quarter. And then Odell made an insane catch on the sideline the very next drive.
Odell.
And after that, it was wraps. But I mean, Isaiah Likely making one-handed catches, Roquan Smith making one-handed catches, Lamar Jackson dropping back like he's going to throw a pass lefty, then flipping his hips and launching a 60-yard bomb
Off one foot.
to Zay Flowers.
Yeah.
It wasn't normal. And that's why I have this much optimism, because the Ravens have been doing this to everyone. So the Dolphins, they're not that embarrassing, because they just did
It's
this
the
to the
Ravens.
49ers. Not this bad, but they just did this to the 49ers last week. They just embarrassed them too. So with that being said, I mean, I hate to be the injury guy, but the Dolphins are banged up. Jalen Phillips obviously already out for the year, missing about half of the starting offensive line.
Bradley Chubb.
Right, now Bradley Chubb. You're missing Jerome Baker. You're going to miss Xavier Howard for a couple weeks. Jalen Waddle's still out for a couple weeks. Tyreek's banged up. Tua's banged up. And I know at this point, we're 18 weeks in. Like, these guys are playing hurt. But I will say the Dolphins are dealing with a shit ton of injuries. Now we move on to this Week 18 game. Dolphins versus Bills in Miami. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't scared. I'll take it a step further. I'm fucking petrified. We shouldn't even be in this position in the first place. The division should already have been won. We shouldn't have lost to no Tennessee. But this is where we're at. And I mean, I always say it's not about, how hard you get hit, but in these leagues, in the NFL and the NBA, I want to see how you respond, man. I want to see how you respond. We just beat the Cowboys. That was a good response to the Tennessee loss. We just got our asses handed to us in the worst way possible. How will we respond? At home, in Miami, Sunday Night Football. The world's going to be betting against us. The world is going to be on the Bills and Josh Allen. Gotta ride with my guys. I mean, I'd be a fraud if I wasn't gonna pick the Dolphins.
If you stayed with them all this time,
You had
just
to.
pick
Yeah, I
against
mean,
them
I'd
now,
be a fraud if I wasn't gonna pick them. But man,
one
I'm
you feel good about
terrified,
it.
bro. I'm terrified. Josh Allen's the type of dude that could beat you by himself. That's my monologue.
Sure is.
All right, so I'll take you guys back a few weeks, right? We were talking about how the Bills and the Dolphins, there was still that small chance that the Bills could win the division. It took Miami losing a couple games. It'd take Buffalo winning a bunch of games. All three, in fact. And they did that. Did they do them convincingly in two of them? Absolutely not. Should they have? Probably. But guess what? They were looking ahead to a Week 18 matchup and a date with motherfucking destiny. And here it is. Your date with destiny occurs this Sunday. What the fuck do you do next? Josh Allen, go make a statement. Go dominate Miami. Go put it to them that this is still your division and it ain't going nowhere. And he will. Buffalo takes down Miami, a beat-up Dolphins team, might I add, but a Dolphins team that they already smacked around earlier in the season. So, I think they do it again, and I think they do it pretty handily once again. Because it's a reeling Dolphins team and a pissed-off Bills team that's been looking ahead. They've definitely been looking ahead. What do you got, Josh? What do you got, Buffalo? Time to find out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna pick the team with their back against the wall, because it's just like they have to win. They have to. You have to. You can't lose. You have to win. You got to win. You got to win the division. You got to make the playoffs. Because if you don't make playoffs, this determines your whole offseason. It's bleeds into next season. I'm gonna go with the team that has their back against the wall. I am gonna pick the Buffalo Bills to win the division and win this game. And who do they get if they win? Whoever wins the division.
They'd be the 2 seed, so they would get the last seed in the AFC, which I assume is going to be like the Steelers or something. And if it's not the Steelers,
Texans, right?
it's going to be one of the worst teams.
Bills Texans, Bills Texans will feed families. Like, I feel like
Yeah.
we need. First of all, we need Stroud in the playoffs, but we'll get into that.
We do.
So yeah, that's the Bills.
Because
and the
Cleveland
Dolphins,
would be
yeah.
going up against the 5 seed. I mean the 4 seed. Which who's the worst? The AFC. The AFC South, which we'll talk about.
Yep.
So
But
can I counterpoint? Can I make a counterpoint to
Of
Tom?
course, that's what this is all about.
Are the Bills the ones with their backs against the wall?
The team that's going to potentially miss the playoffs if they lose, I think so.
I mean,
you can't argue with it any other way.
Miami needs this
man,
for a moral victory.
the stuff I've seen this week, and I know it's, national media outlets, so like take everything they say with a grain of salt, but things I've heard people say about Miami, and if they lose this game, I mean the Bills are. I don't know if the Bills are favorite. Can someone check FanDuel? Can we check? Can
Yeah, I
we see
got
who
you
the
right
favorite is right now?
I got it.
Peter and FanDuel.
For Bill-
Peter's so ready to go
He's sitting
over
on there right now. That's
For
what,
Bills Dolphins,
I will tell you right now. I'm assuming the Bills are probably going to be like 2.5-point favorites. That's what I would assume at the current moment. But let's find out. NFL. Let's see.
let's see.
Buffalo Bills. They flexed it as they should have. Bills are 2.5-point favorites, as
Right.
I said.
So who's the
James
team with
Vegas.
their back against the walls?
it's still the
It's
team
still the
that's
Bills.
that might not make
It's the team that may
playoffs.
not make the playoffs, Chris.
I don't know,
Come on,
man.
man. Who has more to lose?
The Bills definitely have more to
Right.
lose, but back against the wall. I mean, the Bills are hot right now. The Bills
Yeah.
are hot right now. The Bills
Not
are on
really.
a
They-
roll.
Showed a
Let
little
'em-
fraudulent tendencies the last couple weeks.
Well, yeah, I think the Bills are still pretty. They're the same team they were a few weeks ago, but that's.
But
They
if
were
they
look-
lose,
they were looking
but if they
ahead.
lose this game, that's all for nothing. That all means nothing. No one
I
cares
agree.
about any of that.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. You go out there, you
And
prove that you're the team.
Let
that,
me ask this though: if the Dolphins lose this game, they still make the playoffs, yes. But then we have a week of predicting and analyzing matchups for a playoff game where the Dolphins are going to have to go on
into
the road
Kansas City.
on
by
the road
way.
to Kansas City or back to Buffalo or what. I think it's
It'd be
automatically Kansas City if
I
they
think,
lose.
Yeah.
Okay, so automatic.
'Cause
So they'd have to go to Arrowhead,
Cleveland.
where maybe I'm mistaken, but the whole world will probably say it's a foregone conclusion that they're gonna lose.
I don't agree with that though.
I don't agree with that too, but just
I don't think the world would say that though.
Yes, it would. The world's saying
you
they're
say
gonna
that?
lose this one.
I wouldn't say that.
Tom
but
likes the Dolphins.
Yeah, Tom does like the Dolphins.
I don't.
But after getting thrashed by the Ravens and then losing what is a must-win game for Miami,
To the
yeah,
Bills.
I could see.
Well,
come on,
we're
you-
gonna predict
come on.
them to go to Arrowhead
Come
and
on,
beat
you don't,
Mahomes.
you don't,
No,
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 not
no.
them.
No,
Not them.
but-
You don't think Stephen A. is going to get up there and trash the Dolphins
right.
and
But
say that
Stephen A.
there's no
don't
way
know
they beat
fucking ball, bro.
Right,
like
but that's what
Stephen
we're
A.
talking
don't know
about here.
ball.
Right. That's what.
He's the national opinion.
But the Chiefs are not. Okay, I guess because they're still the Chiefs, but I don't look at the Chiefs, and I'm sure that most actual ball knowers don't look at the Chiefs right now like, well, they're the Chiefs from last year, they're the Chiefs the year before, they're gonna fucking go to the AFC Championship.
I don't think
and
anyone
dominate.
looks at them like that, but I think everyone looks at them as I don't want to go to Arrowhead in the divisional in
oh
the
no,
wild
yeah,
card
the
weekend.
Chiefs are.
I'd prefer to go anywhere else, but
Anywhere else
I'm just
but
saying it's
Arrowhead.
not I
weekend.
wouldn't say it's a foregone conclusion, but I understand your point. Yes, I'm arguing.
So my overall
point.
point is just, I think both of these teams have everything to gain and everything to lose in this one.
I think not making the playoffs just gives you a little bit of the edge.
It
there.
does.
No, it's
yeah,
absolute.
yeah.
That's absolutely like you are pinned up against the wall.
Like Miami,
If you
Miami
fuck up,
needs this win because sorry to cut you off.
no, you're good.
Miami needs this win because you don't want to go in Arrowhead. You'd much rather get Pittsburgh or one of those teams for sure, and at home nonetheless. And they need it from a moral standpoint. You just got thrashed by the Ravens. You need a bounce back game going into the playoffs, or else you're going in the playoffs with way less
Misery.
confidence than you would normally have.
Yes.
So, and yeah, they are beat up, and that's not going to help things. You know, that's already a defeating, a confidence drainer.
Like,
But-
I'll tell you this much as a fan of the Dolphins, if we lose this one, it's over. It's over. We're not going to get embarrassed by the Ravens, then lose pretty much a home playoff game to the Bills for the division. the division for the first time in
then go
how
to
many
Arrowhead.
Go to
years?
Arrowhead.
And then go to Arrowhead and beat Pat Mahomes? Yeah. After Pat Mahomes and them boys are resting this week, too, might I add.
Yeah.
They're not playing this week because they're locked.
I don't always agree with that.
Those boys
This
need
is-
reps.
I was about to say I don't always
Mahomes,
agree
no,
with
but
that.
like those boys need reps.
I think you play them a half, man. I think you play them a half, but regardless, yes, the point stands. It's tough. The Dolphins, especially at that point, what's the likelihood you're going to be able to, with zero confidence probably in the locker room now at this point? I mean, even though these are ultra athletes, like the best athletes in the world, you're always confident. It's to some level, but like you're not as confident
You're not
as you
nearly
can
as
be
confident, yeah.
going into Arrowhead now. When you could have had a home playoff game or two. And, you
I
know,
think the
like,
confidence is one issue, but also like that being on the mind. That like, man, if just a couple things went right, we wouldn't have to go to Arrowhead.
we wouldn't even bother doing this.
We could be playing fucking
Bless you.
Mitch Trubisky or the fucking 7th string quarterback in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But
Mason Rudolph's been balling, bro. I wouldn't want to play the Steelers right now. I'm just saying.
much rather play the Chiefs. I'd much rather not play the Chiefs. But,
Nah, I know.
but
I know.
yeah, no, I know you know that. But yeah, it's a must-win game for both teams for sure.
It is to different extents.
Yeah, to different
different
for
extents,
different
but a
reasons,
must-win game.
but nonetheless a must-win game,
If you're Buffalo and you don't make the playoffs,
dude.
Oh, we're
the
gonna have some
hell
nasty
that you are
conversations.
going to pay is going
It's
to
gonna
be
be.
next
They're gonna be. Yeah,
fucking level.
they're gonna be.
Listen, man, they barely got by the Chargers and the Pats.
But again, they're looking forward. That's the issue with this team, too. They're always prepared for these great teams. But when it comes to these terrible teams, they play up to competition and down to competition. So I expect nothing less. And also, Belichick has been known to plan perfectly for Josh Allen.
Nah, man.
That's just been a thing.
You can't barely beat Bailey Zapp.
But, like, to be fair, New England has been
Threw,
surprising
like,
teams
4
lately, too.
picks, too.
That was horrific, bro. Oh my God. I thought Trunks was gonna beat me based off the Bills defense, but that's another thing. Like
Yeah, we were in the casino screaming for the Bills defense.
yeah, and then the Texans defense put up 22 on his
Yeah,
dome.
yeah.
But yeah, like it's tough, man. Like the Bills cannot miss the playoffs. It's just that simple. And yes, they look bad the last 2 weeks, but I'm not concerned because they always play down to their competition, and they're probably looking ahead quite a bit. Could it have gotten them into trouble? Yes, but it didn't.
Listen,
ultimately.
that is the beauty of it being one game elimination. Is like we just got to win one. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you beat Miami and everything else.
You just
I
got to
think-
get a little
yeah,
hot.
You beat Miami and everything else is null and
Not
void.
gonna
It's
lie,
all in the
bro.
past.
Skipping that whole bra staff party Sunday night to watch this game in the comfort of my home.
This is the Sunday night game.
Yep.
Fuck that. I ain't going to no fucking whole bra party for that
Fuck
shit.
that shit.
Oh my God. Sammy was trying to convince me today. And he said that the Eagles Giants game was on Sunday Night Football.
No.
And it's not. It's this.
Yeah, you gotta watch this.
Fuck no, I'm not going. That's crazy. That's insane. That's insane. Insane. This is going to be cinema. We want to talk about cinema. This is going to be cinema.
This could be the game of the year.
Yeah, absolutely. And naturally, that means it's going to be a fucking 13 to
Shitfest, yeah.
10 final. So
Yep.
there it is.
All right. Moving on a little bit. Things are heating up down south. The Colts and Texans face off to potentially win the division, but not so fast. Jaguars are also 9-7 and they play Tennessee. So in the AFC South, who do we think is pulling it out down there?
This is embarrassing.
Yeah.
So, okay. What exactly are the scenarios for the South?
I had some trouble finding that. So
I think it's
Maybe
simple.
Shefty posted it on Twitter. I think I saw.
It should be simple where I think if the Jags win, they win.
I think, yes, the Jags.
So, yeah, the
Jags, if they win,
Yeah.
they're in.
the
Like-
best I can tell you is that if the Jags win, they have a 99% chance to make the playoffs. If the Texans win, they have a 99% chance to make the playoffs. So that must mean they have a tiebreaker over the Jags.
But
I
the
would
Jags have the
Wait,
same
wait,
record as them right now, and they're
they-
above.
all three of them have had the same record for the past 3 weeks, and the
Jags have been at the
above.
top.
So
Yeah.
the
Apparently-
The Jags are locked in.
if the Jags win, they win the division.
win and in for the
Yeah.
Jags. That's
Oh, 'cause
simple.
then the other team can get the wild card spot. That's why. 'Cause
I'm gonna
the
be
Colts
honest with
also
you,
have a 99% chance
There
to make
is
the playoffs.
no winner in this division. None. Nobody wins. You know why? Because even if you win, you get to fucking play Cleveland and fucking massive cock Joe Flacco, and he's going to sun you. Did you see his quote this week? His quote was like, if I made a few more mistakes in high school, some of these guys could have been my fucking kids.
Yeah, that was funny.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Joe Flacco, you don't want to play the Browns. You don't want to play the Browns.
Here we go.
With an injured Trevor Lawrence.
So, Houston clinches the AFC South with a win and a Jacksonville loss or tie. They clinch a playoff berth with a win or a tie plus Jacksonville loss plus Pittsburgh loss or tie. The Colts, it's pretty much the same scenario. The Colts, it's actually less hard. So the Colts win the division if they win, and Jacksonville loses or ties, same as the Texans. Or if they tie and Jacksonville loses. Houston doesn't have that option to tie and still win the division.
So all three teams are winning in.
What?
Winning in the playoffs, I mean.
Yeah, so all three teams, if they win,
if
they're
the
in
Jags
the playoffs.
lose, they're in the playoffs, but
How is that even possible?
they lose the division.
So Indy clinches just a normal playoff berth with a win or a tie plus a Pittsburgh
All
loss or
three
tie.
can only make it if the
Well,
Bills
two of them
also
play
lose
each
too.
other. Well, no, we're not saying all three will make it. We're saying all three of them are
Oh,
in a
two of them
scenario.
play each
In a
other.
scenario-
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
the Texans and Colts
right.
play each other.
Forgot
Yeah.
that. Yes. Okay. Yes.
Right, one of
So
the
that is a
Texans-
winning in game two.
Right. One of the Texans,
Cool.
which is what I predicted on that TikTok, man. I said it. Colts are going to be in Week 18 versus the Texans.
Do we have this written down to pick that winner too, or no? Because
What do
do
you
we
mean?
have this like as a little segment there of Houston versus Indy to make the playoffs? Because if
Yeah.
not, we should talk about
I
this.
mean, we
a little
have an AFC South
That's
segment.
exactly
yeah,
what we're
that's why I
talking
did an
about
intro.
right
Oh! I thought we were just
Okay.
talking about division itself. The division
It's my
itself.
scrambled brain.
That
Well,
was
yeah, that's the division pretty much. That's
like
for, which
I meant
team's
winner. I meant
Oh,
winner.
no.
That's my fault.
They kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah, yeah.
True. So who's home? That
The
might.
Colts are at home.
Yeah.
CJ Stroud and them boys out are going on the road.
And the Jags are
Actually, it don't make it.
Jags are
difference to
at
me.
Tennessee, possibly without Trevor. Is Trevor playing?
I'm pretty sure
I
Trevor's
would like
playing.
to say he's playing,
okay.
and I'm gonna take Jacksonville to win the division. That's where I'm at right now. I'm gonna take Jacksonville to win the
You
division.
think it's that easy?
It should be that easy.
But
Will it
they
be that
just
easy?
have not
No.
lived up to expectations.
I completely agree. But
Like I said, they have an in-division game, regardless of if it's Tennessee or not. It's an in-division game at home, and Tennessee's at home. They could totally lose that game.
I'm taking as it stands.
You
right
can't
now,
lose that game.
I'm
Like,
no.
They
I'm
can't lose
taking
that
the
fucking
Jags, and then in the Colts versus the Texans game, I'm gonna take CJ fucking Stroud is going to the playoffs in his rookie season. That's simple.
nah, man.
Nah, man.
Nah,
Stop, bro. Oh my God, the Colts suck.
They really
Suck.
don't.
They're bad.
I mean, in theory, they suck just as much as the Texans, and that's okay.
And the Jaguars.
of all these teams, no, the Texans.
Bro,
I would say, as it stands right now, the best of these three teams is the Texans. Football teams. The best of these three football teams is the Texans.
Don't matter.
Come on, guys. Come on. I would sure the Jags, but like,
No. It should be the Jags.
the
but it-
Colts just have this thing.
oh my God, they
What's
don't
the
have
word
anything.
I'm looking
What is it,
for?
Gardner Minshew?
Starts with a C. Culture.
So does
Culture.
Houston now.
No. It's not like this. Gardner Minshew's on the sidelines
it's
laughing.
the mania.
Listen to this.
Max is so mad.
He's on the sideline laughing as he's being called, and I quote, a little ass boy. He's just giggling it off as he ends the Raiders' playoff hopes. And he's going to be giggling it off as he ends CJ Stroud's playoff hopes as well. This team, like I said a few weeks ago, it's something about Gardner Minshew where everywhere he goes, even last year in Philly as a backup, he just seems to get the locker room behind him. And, you know, I'm not there, so I don't really know what goes on, but this is just from an outsider's perspective. But from everything I've seen and I've heard, I mean, these guys will ride or die for their quarterback. And, you know, that makes a playoff team. And you look at the way this defensive is playing. You know, it starts in the middle with Mr. Zaire Franklin, who is a Pro Bowl snub. I mean, crazy Pro Bowl snub,
Yeah,
but like it doesn't fucking matter. But I mean, we have fucking Bobby Wagner in the year 2023
it's ridiculous.
in the Pro Bowl.
Ridiculous.
But I mean, the Colts defense, you know, it all starts with DeForest Buckner in the middle of that defensive line, but they just have some dogs, man. They just get after it. EJ Speed having a breakout year. You know, the secondary's playing well with Mr. Blackman having a breakout year.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys could play. They're obviously coached super well. You know, we've said it a million times. Stan Scheichen's in the fucking running for Coach of the Year. Like we keep saying, all of us, there's probably 5 or 6 guys in the running for that.
I think it's
award,
locked up now.
For who?
Kevin Stefanski.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Wouldn't be mad at. I'm not mad at whoever wins the award, but you know, Scheichen's right in that mix with everyone else. I mean, these guys could play ball, and I'm gonna trust the home team. When you have 2 even teams like this, where it's a coin flip, I'm sure the spread's probably 1 or 1.5. I don't think it's more than 2 points, but when you have teams that are so closely knitted like this, I'm gonna lean with the home team normally.
Yeah, I'm just riding the mania, man.
Ride the mania, bro.
He is.
JT's healthy.
JT's healthy. Michael Pittman's been on
having
a fucking
a Pro
tear.
Bowl season, yeah.
And yeah, like Chris said, the locker room is behind Minshew. And I think that matters. I just think they got that edge over the Texans.
I mean, listen, all that locker room mumbo jumbo that I'm spewing out there, it all applies to the Texans as well.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be oblivious to that,
Yeah,
Exactly,
but you know,
Yeah, Stroud could come out, throw for 350 or 400 yards and just completely.
See,
wreck it.
that's the difference for me. Like, yes, we want to side with the home team in this case, but for me now, more so than ever, I feel like in the NFL, I'm going to side with the best quarterback. And that Texans defense looks like it's starting to figure things out real quick. Like, it's gotten better as the season has progressed.
Derek Stingley had a fucking good 2-week Mickey Mouse run, and then you got 50 dropped on his dome.
Bro, Amari's gonna do that to everybody. It also was a game where CJ Stroud wasn't playing.
Yeah, but he didn't do it to everybody.
What happened?
He didn't do it to everybody. He did it to them.
Yeah, but he can do it to everybody if you just throw him the football when you have Joe Flacco, because you know multiple 100-yard weeks with Joe Flacco. But anybody else, it's incapable.
That was,
What?
That was my point. Was like, I'm usually with you. Like, if I have 2 even teams, I'm taking the team with a better quarterback. But when I'm watching Joe Flacco do these things, when I'm watching him light up the Texans like that,
Flacco's lighting up everybody. He just lit up the motherfucking Jets.
This is exactly my point. If Joe Flacco can do that,
Gardner Minshew could
Stop
have a game.
it, bro.
Gardner
Stop.
Minshew could have a game.
I'm not disagreeing Minshew could have a game, but I'm just saying CJ Stroud is head and shoulders and then entire fucking midsection above Gardner
no one's saying
Minshew.
that. No one's saying that.
So
I'm just saying I think it might take a Stroud masterclass to beat the Colts. I don't think it's going to take a Minshew masterclass to beat Texans.
I don't
now
agree.
We're getting spicy.
I don't agree because Minshew can self-destruct. That can happen.
Like boom, boom, boom. Hit the.
I think there's more of a exactly. I think there's more of a chance that the Colts could beat themselves than the Texans can beat themselves as well. There's another thing right there. So like, I don't know, man. I'm definitely siding with the quarterback and a defense that plays a lot better when their quarterback is there, which makes a massive difference. If CJ Stroud is playing and you don't have a backup in case Keenum playing, your defense is on the field less, and your offense is more effective, and your guys have full faith that this guy's going to lead them to a victory. So they play I don't want to say a million times. You're crazy. You're not playing a million times harder, but you just subconsciously know we don't have to. Like, if we give that up, it happens. So we play more aggressive now. So that's where I'm at with that. You don't play perfect when you're that defense. But you just let it rock. You play freely.
Word.
So
Word indeed.
CJ Stroud, baby. CJ fucking Stroud. And as for Jacksonville, you get a date with Joe Flacco and the Cleveland Browns to get your fucking ass whooped. And it's that simple.
I'm not gonna cap to you guys. I said we should do the NFC South too. Fuck that.
Fuck the
shit.
NFC
Fuck
South,
the
bro.
NFC
Let's
South.
go Baker.
Fuck
That's
the
it.
NFC South.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Even as a Falcons guy, like, let's go Baker, man.
go
Bucks.
Baker.
Shake and bake, bro.
Go fucking win that game and make the playoffs, bro. Ain't nobody like the Saints. It's that simple.
Thank God. All right.
This
So-
is a fun topic.
Yeah, moving on.
I love this.
The Chicago Bears have officially clinched the number 1 pick in the draft. But the fans were chanting, "We want Fields, man," after they beat the Falcons 37-17. The fan base, so from what I've seen, yeah, they were chanting, "We want Fields," but online and everything, like the fan base seems so
Torn?
different. Like some of them really believe in Fields and want Fields as their quarterback for the future, but a lot of them are saying, "Let's just be over with this." I'll go first on this since
Pete, bro. Fucking Christ. Go ahead.
I'll go first with this since I have the floor right now. The question I'm posing is obviously, do they go with a quarterback? Do they take Marvin Harrison, or do they trade down? And well, they would still probably get Harrison in that case if they traded down.
It depends on how far you trade down, bro.
Yeah, I'm saying if they trade down to like 3, they're probably still going to end up with Marvin. Maybe
All
not.
I know
Okay.
is if the Patriots have Drake May on the board, the Patriots are taking Drake May.
Right. Yeah. Or do you ride with Fields? And personally, I think it's time to move on. That's not to say that I think Fields is cooked. I think he's done. I think Fields, there's legit talent there, and there is legit potential there. My thing is, why are you going to take 2 more years of Justin Fields if you're not fully 100% sure that he's your guy? If the Bears are here saying, "This is our guy, this is who we want," even if we think they're wrong, if they're fully behind him and supporting him, then you ride it out. You stick with your gut. I get that. They're not doing that. They're not behind him 100%. So why are you going to take 2 more years before you have to pay him a bunch of money, and then maybe he's not your guy when you have 2 potential Hall of Fame level quarterbacks? Like, that's the hype that these guys are getting in this draft class, and get 4 or 5 years of them and build a team around them. A team that's starting to come together in the past few weeks. Their defense has been awesome since getting Montez Sweat.
Yeah, bro.
But yeah, I think just tear it down a little bit. Lose Fields, get Caleb, get Drake, get whoever you think is the better guy.
Hell, get Michael Penix.
Sure, fuck it.
But they're not that.
Get shit.
Not
Norris
that.
Sanders.
He ain't declaring.
No. And also, I don't think Eberflus is the guy. I don't think he's terrible, but I don't think he's quite their guy. But their defense has been a lot better. So yeah, I'd say move on from Fields. I hope Fields gets a shot somewhere else though, because like I said, that kid has legit talent. Was an absolute monster in college, but still, even in the NFL, shows signs of real potential. And I hope he gets a shot somewhere else, but I don't think it should be Chicago.
Man, it's tough, bro.
Touchers. What?
It's really tough because I like Justin Fields
I do
a
too,
lot.
yeah.
And he hasn't been great. He hasn't shown to be a top 10 quarterback. But he's been better. We got to remember he also missed time this year with injury. And what was supposed to be his breakout year, he missed, 4 or 5 games with injury, if I'm not mistaken. That's obviously going to, in a year where everyone's projecting you to take your
3, but yeah.
whatever it is, in the middle of the year, you have to miss some games in the year you're supposed to break out. That's going to...
And you're fighting for your job.
Right.
And you
it's
know
gonna-
it.
yeah,
you
it's
know it,
gonna-
by the way.
It's going to take a hit, but I mean, has he done everything he was asked to do for the most part?
No.
No? You
No.
don't think so?
Not at all.
What was he what was your checklist for Justin Fields?
Show more consistent flashes as a passer.
He hasn't done
Early
that yet?
season, it was atrocious. And as much as we may want to give him a pass, we can, sure. But recently, has it been better? Yeah, but there's still...
There's a lot to clean up.
Yes.
Shit ton
And
to
it's
clean up.
year 3.
Yeah.
That is where I stand with that.
That's
so,
the thing, because
no, the checklist is not complete.
that's fair. Yeah, I mean,
And
it
look,
kind of seems like a no-brainer question. kind of seems like a no-brainer because, like you said, he hasn't shown enough consistent flashes as a passer. I agree with that. He's shown me some flashes as a football player because of his rushing upside.
Yep.
And some flashes that he could be a really special, dynamic talent for sure. But he hasn't shown enough flashes as a passer. And you have two guys who are going to come in and immediately be better passers than him. And, I mean, hate to be that guy, but what's the most important part of a quarterback? Your ability to pass the pigskin. Yeah. So that matters. And then...
God bless.
Then there's these two angles to look at it from a roster building GM standpoint.
Yes, this is what I was going to say.
So there's one angle where it's, all right, Justin Fields hasn't shown me that much. He hasn't shown me enough. He's going to be due for an extension soon. Why would we pay this guy when we could get a rookie on a rookie contract? And then that gives us more roster flexibility to build around said rookie quarterback, whether it's Caleb or Drake. But then there's this other flip side of things where it's like, okay, yeah, I'll have to pay Fields in a year, but look at what we got for the number 1 pick last year.
And you're getting more.
And look what we could get for the number 1 pick this year. And then if we go that route and we keep Fields and now we trade for more draft capital or another DJ Moore and draft capital, not a receiver, but you know what I mean, like a young
high-level player,
high-level player, right? To add to that young core, which you just got Montez Sweat to add to that core too. You have Jalen Johnson having his breakout season. You have those young linebackers who you paid this offseason. You know, you're building something.
Yeah.
You're already building something. I know everyone likes to clown the Bears, but, you know, I'm not going to say they're doing a great job at their rebuild, but they're doing better than some other teams have in the past. So you're building something, and then you could get this haul of picks and young players, and, like, let's keep it a buck, man. The haul for the number 1 overall pick versus the haul for Justin Fields, what's going to get you more?
For sure.
So then it's like, what's the... it's such an... that's why I was so excited for this topic, because it's such an interesting conversation, because it's like, well, which trade-off are we going to pick? Like, which one helps? Do we, you know, put more salary cap into retaining Justin Fields in a year for the extra assets to build the roster around him? Or do we go for the route of, we have more salary and we have a young, probably better quarterback in Caleb Williams, but we don't have the draft capital and the young players. So our roster, you still have a good plethora of young talent too, and draft picks from the trade last year, even if you go the Caleb Williams route. But the roster construction from that point forward becomes a lot of free agency signing and older players. So it's just two very different routes of not just who's your quarterback of the future, but how are you going to build your team for the future, and what type of players are you going to put around these two quarterbacks? And, you know, after going on that round and just explaining to you guys what you guys probably already knew and you didn't really need an explanation of, but I'd probably go with the Justin Fields route. I know that Caleb Williams on a rookie contract is probably with contract included in the context, might be the most valuable player in the NFL once he gets to the NFL. Having that guy on that contract for 4 years is so extremely valuable. But man, I think getting an extra first round.
I'll be
pick.
dead honest with you. The price is going to start something similar to 3 first round.
Yeah, an extra 2 or 3 first round picks, a few seconds and thirds in there. Maybe
that's where it's starting. Yeah,
maybe another young established player. I don't know who that would be. I can't think of any names right now of who would trade for that pick. But
I'm just throwing something out there. What if the Raiders came calling and said, like, we'll give you 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and Devontae Adams? What do you do? What do you do? Like,
or Max
what the hell do
Crosby.
you do? Jesus
Imagine.
Christ.
put Max Crosby and Montez Sweat. You have Justin Fields, and then you could draft
God.
receivers and skill position players.
I don't know what their cap situation
So
look like, but
it's right now their cap situation is super clean.
Yeah.
right, yeah.
They're gonna have the most cap space, I think, going
So that's
into
what I was
next
thinking. I
season.
didn't know if they could trade for like that kind of player and then go sign like, not if they get Crosby and then go sign like T Higgins or something like that, and
They have
put
the
another receiver.
flexibility
That's
to
what I'm
pretty
saying.
much do
Do whatever
whatever
the
they
fuck
want.
Yeah,
right
that's-
now.
yeah.
All I know, your first order of business is signing Jalen Johnson to an extension.
My boy.
Anyways, where I stand, and I'm glad you gave the full breakdown of everything. Where I stand on this, even given all the first round picks that you can get, given all the assets you can get, the Justin Fields experiment did not work. And that's okay. I'm not saying that it's not going to work somewhere else, but Chicago, you're done with him. He is not your quarterback now. And that is clear. Stop extending it. I understand what you could get back, but you already got a haul for the first overall pick. You already did that. You don't need to go do that again. You have a defense that's balling the fuck out at the current moment, so you know, okay, we can add a couple pieces through free agency here. We have an offense that already has an alpha dog number one. We have a very capable tight end that's signed to an extension. Running back, you can always figure out. Get the guy. And we all have been looking at Caleb Williams all draft season as one of the greatest quarterback prospects we've ever seen in our lives.
People are forgetting.
Yeah,
Exactly.
People are forgetting.
You all
Completely
have
agree.
to comprehend that while, yes, there was a lot of shit that happened at USC that, you know, can be pinned on Caleb Williams at times. The turnover problems, for sure. The amount of sacks that he took, for sure. But guess what? USC was not a good football team. And I don't know if a lot of people are really fully understanding that. USC was not a good football team. USC was a good football team, not in spite of Caleb Williams, because of Caleb Williams. You go get a guy like Caleb Williams. You pair him with an offensive coordinator that you hopefully can hire. If you do fire Matt Eberflus, if that is the route that you take, which I don't hate because offensive coaches, you know, they're the thing in the league now.
to go, yeah.
That's the way to go. Superstar quarterback or an offensive coach or both. You go get Ben Johnson, you pair him with Caleb Williams, perfect. Perfection. Because I guarantee you right now, Ben Johnson ain't going to take that Carolina job because nobody wants it. Nobody wants it anymore. I can guarantee you the Chargers ain't going to go for him because they will put everything possible into going for Jim Harbaugh right now. I'll tell you that. So you go get Ben Johnson. You give him whatever he wants at this point. Maybe not $15 million, which I heard was what he was asking for, which is crazy. But you go get Ben Johnson. You draft Caleb Williams with the first overall pick. You still have, what's the other pick? Like the 7th, 8th? Not whatever it is. Regardless, you could get a very valuable wide receiver there to pair with the already alpha DJ Moore. And you have a great team in the making. You re-sign Jalen Johnson. You get a couple other pieces on defense. And you have a great team come next year, come the following year. And you have a guy that's in his second year on a rookie scale contract now too. That makes a massive difference as well. Who very well could be a superstar by year 2. So trade Justin Fields for an extra second-round pick because I guarantee you someone will pony up for Justin Fields, and you go from there. I think without question the Bears would be making a legitimate mistake. Of course, a lot of draft capital in it, but I think you'd be making a legitimate mistake if you don't go and get Caleb Williams. He's him.
Yeah,
He's so him.
yeah. I think from a GM standpoint, if you, let's say you keep Fields, even though, like I said, you're not 100% confident in him being the guy, you keep Fields and it's the same old Fields next year. Then you see Caleb get drafted and be Caleb Williams.
Maybe it's Drake. Maybe you prefer Drake.
Drake, Caleb, whatever. You see them go out and be those guys, and you get the same old Fields, and he doesn't take the leap you want him to. That's your job. Like you're losing your job.
You're done.
You're losing your job.
Yep.
So I just think even if you ship Fields off, and he ends up balling out and being the Justin Fields that was drafted number 2, I think you live with that when you have the number 1 quarterback prospect we've seen in years.
As a GM, you also have to look at it as if I draft this quarterback, I've now bought myself 2 years.
Yeah, exactly.
I've now bought myself 2 years.
Yeah, that's
because
my
I'm not
point.
getting fired because this guy is tied to me. So we have to give it 2 years to see if it works out before we can officially fire this guy.
Right. And I just think I don't like
Fields
I said,
Fields is not there.
exactly, yeah, and that's all, and that's what you come out and say. You say, listen, that just wasn't happening here. Like that's, and you chalk it up and you live with it. But yeah, if you pass on the generational quarterback prospect, you're not gonna run from that. And I just, like I said, the whole thing of they haven't shown that, like they haven't fully expressed that Fields is their guy. I think it's weird to do it now. Like you took this long, and now you're gonna say, yeah, this is our guy. We don't want to look at any other quarterbacks. So that's just what I think.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Draft Caleb Williams, draft Jake May. Look, I'm even getting on the bandwagon of draft Michael Penix early. So yeah, that's kind of where I stand with all of this. I just it's done with for Fields in Chicago, in my personal opinion.
Where's he going? ATL?
Atlanta seems
That's
like the only
yes, that's the logical landing spot. Truthfully,
That'd be perfect.
it's really the logical landing spot. I don't know what other teams would make the most sense, but like
Teams that need quarterbacks. I mean, the Raiders ain't getting them.
no, Raiders.
Not going to the Steelers. Like,
No, absolutely not. You got to fit culture too.
yeah, exactly.
You got to fit offense. You got to fit culture.
Oh my god.
This is a crazy game. They were up 16. What the hell happened?
Oh my God. We're gonna see. We're about to wait.
Bro thought he was LeBron trying to make the right play and threw a turnover.
Who was it?
Steph
What did he do? What happened?
threw a turnover. They had the ball with 10 seconds left, and he just threw the. What do you need, Pete?
I need 3 points from Clay.
Oh,
And
so you need
wait,
overtime.
Need OT.
Pods did it already?
Did Pods get his rebounds?
No, I saw them live. They had a little
You did a
live.
lot of that. Oh my
So
God.
what's the live bet? Just 6 points from Klay
It
Thompson?
was Gordon
Bro, what was
for
Steph
30
doing?
points. I mean, 25
I think he
points.
panicked.
And then,
Yeah.
Clay for 30
Steph Curry
points.
panicked at the end of a
Bro,
late game.
what?
Yeah, we're
Yeah, I
watching
mean-
the Warriors Nuggets games right now for everyone.
Yeah, we
watching.
already gave our whole Fields take right
Yeah.
there.
We have some basketball stuff.
We do.
Yeah. When this comes back, though, we're tuning in.
Yeah.
So a few days ago, OG Anunoby, Precious Achiuwa, and Malachi Flynn were traded to the New York Knicks for RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickly, and a second-round pick. Both teams are 2-0 since the trade was done. Obviously, it's not a very big sample size, but it's something to note. The main things to talk about from this trade, obviously, a lot of people thought it was just a clear-cut fleece by the Raptors at first, and it really doesn't seem that way at all. And I think the most interesting part is what's next for the Knicks, because you have to.
Can I stop you? You know what the most interesting part of this trade is? The Raptors' new big four. Pascal Siakam, Scotty Barnes, Emmanuel Quickly, and RJ Barrett. You know what they're calling them? Spicy barbecue. Spicy P. B for Barnes.
Oh,
B for Barrett. And Q for
My
Quickly.
God.
How sick is that? Spicy barbecue.
What the?
That's awesome.
Holy shit!
Oh my
Oh
God!
my God!
Oh my god.
We gotta clip that.
Why does that?
We gotta clip this.
that?
We
Bro.
gotta clip this. Why, bro? He's my favorite player in the
Bro,
league.
Jokic
Relax.
just said, "Fuck it, the rim's down
Oh,
there
that was
somewhere."
sick the way you
That's how
switched
it
the
was
camera
bro.
too. That was good.
No, what? I'm watching that shot go up. I go, nah.
That was good. That was good.
What did he do? I didn't
He
see it.
switched the camera right as we reacted. Look.
Are you kidding me?
That was good. That was so
That was
good.
sick. That was sick.
Wow.
That was awesome.
That was crazy.
That's why you get a
Wow.
producer.
Bro. What the fuck just happened? I really said, what the
my,
fuck?
Who's that guy? Who didn't know Jokic just go up and
That? Oh my
right,
God.
bro? He's like,
Yoke.
bro, he's full form. He didn't even chuck it. Yo, he like literally stops and pops, bro.
Yo.
He doesn't even like chuck it or
Not
anything.
doing it on the run
it's
is crazy.
full form behind his head and everything. What do you mean?
How does he, like, bro? it's
Stopping and getting a
effortless.
clean
It's
pull up
effortless.
right there is nasty stuff, bro.
Well,
Oh,
when you
that's
shoot behind your
hilarious.
head like Larry Bird and you fucking are
Are
7
you
feet.
kidding me?
Oh, that's so funny, bro. Look at him, bro. Oh.
That's the best player in the world right there. That's
God,
crazy.
man.
That's
I did
crazy.
it, yeah.
Yo, it's nuts. It actually looks mad funny. We have to clip that and post that
For
on Twitter.
sure,
I'm not
yeah.
even gonna lie. Everywhere.
Oh
Wow.
my God, that was awesome.
Wow. And you put the podcast under too.
How that? I was feeding for.
Wow, that was something.
I don't know. Like I'm excited.
Holy
but, like,
shit.
that was $1,000 ball.
Yeah.
That was generational wealth.
That was
Yeah.
generational.
Oh my God, isn't that crazy? He
Are
just
you
hit-
mad about it right now, though?
Bro, he
No.
hit the shot, what, 45 seconds ago, and he already has
He's
the
already got a
headset
post
on,
get- yeah.
talking to Ernie and shit.
Wow,
All right.
man.
Anyways,
Spicy
OG.
barbecue.
Yeah, spicy barbecue.
spicy barbecue.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah, it's cool.
Until
That's a
Pascal gets
crazy-
traded.
Yeah.
And
It's a
great
then it's
nickname.
all over.
Yeah.
Then it's just barbecue. Then it
Still
ain't
pretty
spicy.
tough. Still
yeah,
pretty
yeah,
tough.
it is.
Barbecue's
It-
pretty tough.
It's not spicy
Cool, it's
anymore.
cool.
We don't
Yeah,
need
yeah.
it to be spicy. You know, it doesn't have to be. But, all right, I'll give my quick thoughts on this trade. I liked it at the time when it happened. I was probably the only person, I think, in that group chat that was defending it, with a lot of Knicks fans that were very pissed off. I stood there and I said, no, there's no reason to be mad about it. OG was the right move, and RJ stinks. RJ stinks at basketball. As much as I want it to happen, I really do hope that he becomes great in Toronto. But it was never going to happen here. And that's just something that Knicks fans had to accept and have to accept. The real gem that we're losing in this trade is Emmanuel quickly, and I firmly believe that. But again, another guy that it was never going to happen perfectly in New York, and that's a problem. So when you trade two guys that just didn't cleanly fit with the other two guys, the important two guys, in Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle, what are you supposed to do? You don't keep them. You don't pay one of them $28 to $30 million and the other one $27 million. That's not what you do. So they did the right thing in team building. They traded for one of the best 3-and-D wings in the entire league. They got a big man backup when Taj Gibson was your backup center at the current moment. And you got Precious. Is Precious great? No, but he's solid. OG Anunoby is going to change life for the New York Knicks.
He kind of has, bro.
He looks amazing, by the way.
He hasn't had like, if you look, hasn't had like objectively great games, but like if you know the type of player,
If you know ball.
if you know the value that a player like OG Anunoby brings to a basketball team, you will appreciate it. I was very upset at first. I don't have an emotional attachment to RJ Barrett like Trunks does. I literally
Jesus
couldn't give
fucking
less of a
Christ.
shit that he got traded. Again, love RJ. Hope he blossoms in Toronto. Just wasn't working here. I was very upset about losing Emmanuel quickly because he was so important to the bench and
He's such
made
a
us
spark.
it made us possibly the best bench in the league. I would really love to go and replace him. Maybe get like a Terry Rozier or a Jordan Clarkson.
Jordan Clarkson.
Yeah, please, Jordan Clarkson. Because Terry
After having a
balling,
triple-double,
balling.
by the way. First
Yeah,
one in
bro.
Jazz history.
Um,
I mean, not in Jazz history, since like 08.
Terry's balling. So I don't know if we're gonna be able to, pay that price. But if we can get Jordan Clarkson, this guy just stood here with his two fucking thumbs up like this.
Who, Jokic?
Yeah, it just
He's great.
He's such a fucking I don't know.
He wants to go home.
He wants to go home and play with his horses. That's all he ever wants to do. Bring Clarkson to the Knicks. Replace Emmanuel quickly, and I think it's all good. And yeah, I love the OG edition though.
I love it for both sides. It's a win-win.
Yeah,
I'm not mad. But as a Knicks fan, just realize how good OG Anunoby is. And there's more moves to come. Just trust the process.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing.
absolutely.
So yeah, defensively, I mean, I was at the game last night. I watched OG, guard DeMar for stretches, guard Kobe White for stretches. I mean, he gives the Knicks something they didn't have, a true lockdown perimeter defender who can stretch the floor and hit threes consistently. I saw a stat, I think NBAU posted it, that the past 3 years on corner threes, RJ and Quick were both shooting sub 30%, and OG over the past 3 years is shooting above 40%.
Like
so
47.
obviously, you have Jalen Brunson, you have Julius Randle, you need guys who could hit corner threes, but being at the game last night, I never thought I'd say this actually, because I'm an RJ Barrett hater. Like that's been well documented on this podcast. I don't like RJ Barrett. He's the epitome of mid, but and quickly too. I'm gonna just combine. When you're talking about the trade, I'm kind of combining them as one player, kind of combining it as quickly Barrett for Anunoby. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think overall, the quickly Barrett of it, the Knicks, not just quickly's ability to score, which they're definitely gonna miss, but the ball handling for both of them. You know, because RJ, say what we want about RJ, inefficient, can't, team killer, doesn't play defense, blah blah blah. He could handle the ball. He could dribble the ball. You know, he could be a third or fourth creator for you. Something that, OG Anunoby's a lot of things. A lot of positive things. He's not that. And that's okay. It's okay that he's not that. But all right, bro.
That's a crazy
Relax.
statement. That's an insane statement.
OG's not that. And, at the game last night, it felt very it was in your face that it was Brunson or Randall creating something. And if it wasn't that, it was Josh Hart throwing the ball 50 feet into the
Oh my
That
God.
ball almost hit me
That
and Amanda.
was nuts.
It was
so funny.
It was very close.
That was
It was
fucking
very
nuts.
close.
He
It was right
tweeted.
on
He
second.
tweeted at Washington Commanders. Hit me up.
Oh, it's so funny too, because it was 4 minutes after I was waiting for the one train, and he tweeted already, Josh Hart. It was right after the game. That mother, he did that in the first. He did it as soon as he checked into the game. The first time he checked in the game in the first quarter, he's probably thinking the whole game, damn, I can't wait to get this fucking tweet off. But no. So, and like you said, they did give up probably their two best young assets. I guess Quentin Grimes, if you want to say Quentin Grimes is a better asset than RJ Barrett because of the contract.
And the
I guess.
fit.
Yeah. For the team, yeah. But just in general, you gave up two of your assets, but you didn't give up any significant draft capital. You still have the
They have a
Fournier
lot of
contract.
capital
So
for
you
that,
still have shit to do. Melly's in the chat.
Melly, what up?
Hey, what up, Mel?
Ball game at
gang?
night. So there's still moves to be made. I don't know what the move is, but I said it in the chat, at least the front office is showing you guys as fans, hey, we're going to make moves that we think could help this team win without setting us back 10 years,
Yeah.
Yep.
We're going to try and be as smart and responsible about this while also trying our hardest to put a championship contender out there. And as a fan, you guys, I'd be ecstatic.
I love
hell
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said in the, this trade's almost a week old now. So we've all texted in the group chats and shit like that. We've seen 2 games on both sides. So we've gotten our initial thoughts out. But I said, the OG contract is scary. The OG contract situation is very scary because OG Anunoby, like we said, one of the best 3-and-D players in the league. He's going to demand some big money. Whether it's a max or not is still yet to be determined, but he's getting upwards of $30 million at minimum. At minimum.
Yes.
So in theory, we could just say that's the RJ Barrett contract.
Right. Yeah.
And I know a lot of Knicks fans are saying, I don't know if this is what you guys are saying, we weren't going to re-sign quickly and he wouldn't reach his full potential here. And those statements
No,
are
I
fair.
think we would have.
A lot of Knicks fans are saying we couldn't re-sign quickly, which I guess a lot of NBA fans, a lot of the younger fans aren't really too familiar with how bird rights and restricted
Right,
free
yeah,
agency
yeah.
works. But the Knicks would have been able to re-sign quickly and bring him back. But I guess it makes sense to get off of that so you don't re-sign him and then you're over the tax and all that shit and then you restrict yourself in the future. But if OG Anunoby doesn't re-sign, it is a massive failure.
Yeah.
And then things get ugly because you have Jalen Brunson in his prime, you have Julius Randle in his prime. Both of them look like they're on pace to be all NBA players this year, not even just all-stars, all NBA players the way they're playing right now. So you're in the right direction, and probably everyone with a brain will still say the Knicks are a true 1A away from championship contention, which is fine. But if you don't bring OG Anunoby back, everything's out the window, and you probably have to start over.
Yeah.
You
So
probably, if you don't bring back OG, then in the next year and a half following, Randall's good as gone. And I hate to say it, but it's a ways.
you have to trade Brunson.
It's a ways
Yeah.
away. So I don't want to jump the gun, but Brunson might be on the hot seat too. Not because of his play,
Oh,
but just
yeah.
because of
We need assets.
It might just be time to restart,
yes,
right? So
100%.
it's a tricky situation. I know a lot of people think that Grimes was going to step into that role that quickly left. No,
Nah.
he's not. So that's where it also becomes a little bit tricky, because you still want to compete this year and you want to put the best roster out there, and it's glaringly obvious to all of us that you need another creator, whether that's to come off the bench or that's to start next to those guys, whatever the case may be. But there's another trade to be made to maybe not be a title contender, but to compete this year and try and win a few playoff
some
series
noise
or
in a
two.
play- yeah,
Make
in
some
the playoffs.
noise is the words I'm looking for. So you're going to have to give up more assets this year too for a Jordan Clarkson or Terry Rozier or
Right.
Colin Sexton, whatever the case may be. So you're going to give up more assets too to complete the roster for this year, but you're still a star away. So
Yes.
you're still going to deplete more assets into whatever else you do this year, because there's not going to be a star available at the deadline,
No.
probably.
Oh.
Unless
And Mitchell doesn't fit.
Yeah, unless it's Spida, and we've talked about it. Me and you both were not the biggest fans of the Spida fit. I like Donovan Mitchell, and I think
I love Mitch.
on a surface level, like, he'll help because he's such a dynamic offensive player. But in terms of winning championships,
Yes.
he doesn't get you there.
Yeah,
And
I
that's
just
the
keep saying,
ultimate
just
goal.
Hold out.
Right,
for
that's the
someone,
ultimate goal.
Like, I
So-
understand where people come from with that. I get it, because you want the other star. But what people don't seem to understand is they want the other star that, like, will win you, like, maybe you win one playoff series. Do we remember how it went in Portland? Do we remember how it went in Portland with Dame and CJ? Sure, they made a conference finals, but what happened other than that? They didn't go to the conference finals. And what happened in those conference finals? They got dog walked. That's what happened. So I don't want to repeat. And yes, Donovan Mitchell is a better player than CJ McCollum, but I don't want a repeat of that where we're stuck in mediocrity. I'm okay with holding out for, hopefully, in the off chance that we do get that legitimate 1A guy, or just overall a legitimate championship player that next to Brunson is great and it fits perfectly and it meshes. If you could somehow get a guy that's like I want to say a 2A to the Randall and Brunson combo, then I think that works as well. And I think Mikal Bridges is that player, in my personal opinion. But we don't know how perfect that would be. Like, we don't know. And that's in a perfect world, you get him. Whatever. Regardless, I thought that the Quickly and RJ situation was tough simply because of the fact that RJ doesn't exactly fit perfectly with this team. And let's think about it. He's getting paid $27 million per season. Quickly, you would have had to pay him probably, I want to say, 25 to 30 a season, correct? That's just inferring that that's what it was going to cost.
market, yeah.
Another guy that doesn't exactly fit perfectly with your two stars at the current moment. And truth be told, you have to worry about that team building wise and contract wise. It has to be concerned about. And you can't do that. I'm okay with paying OG $35 million a season when he fits perfectly with no matter what your roster construction is going to look like. And that is okay with me.
Yeah,
if
makes
he's getting a Jeremy Grant deal, I'm perfectly fine
Yeah,
with that.
if it's pay RJ 30 plus or pay OG 30 plus, I'm paying OG every time.
Exactly.
So.
So I think people are really just, you're looking at how much you love RJ and Quick and not really looking at how much sense it makes for the team rather than keeping those two guys. So
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that.
It's very interesting because, like I said, I feel like they're still a star away. So I kind of feel how I felt about the Jalen Brunson signing, if that makes sense. My thoughts on the Jalen Brunson signing were, I love Jalen Brunson and I thought he was worth the money at the time. I just didn't think it was for the Knicks. I felt like at the time Jalen Brunson's a guy you get when you have the star. I don't know. Like, I feel like you do that when you have the star. I feel like you go and get OG when you have the star.
I get because he's an auxiliary piece,
right. So it's like
we all thought he was going to a championship contender.
right. That's what I'm saying. That's the type of guy you get when you have the piece already. Jalen Brunson, you get that guy to be at that time. Last year in free agency, we were thinking a number 2 or a number 3, not a solidified number 2, and a one on some type of teams. But at that time, a 2 or 3, probably more on the 3 side of things. But we looked at it. In my opinion, it was like you do that when you have a guy already. So it's just. It's very interesting because they're doing everything right around the margins.
Yes.
They really are. Like, you guys know it. I try to hate the Knicks as much as possible since I'm the only one who's not a fan. So I try to bring that energy to the pod. But, I mean, they're doing everything right around the edges.
You're holding out for that guy.
Yeah. So that's
what you have to do.
That's the only thing I'll say about that is the OG trade was just they saw an opportunity, they took it. They didn't have to give up any first round picks.
Exactly.
So they're like, you know what? We can make up. I guess they feel they can make up the value of Quickly and RJ somewhere else. Whether it be, package Mitchell Robinson and Quentin Grimes, and then just throw a boatload of first-round picks.
For the guy,
for
and
OG
the Evan
last
Fournier
season.
contract, the trade exception that you have because of Mitch's injury.
Yeah.
Like, if
OG,
it's not this season.
Remember, last year at the trade deadline, Toronto wanted 3 firsts for him.
Yep. Memphis offered it, apparently.
Yeah, and didn't get any.
Yeah, I mean, hey, exactly. To get a guy who his value a year ago was 3 first-round picks for one of the bottom 30 contracts in the NBA and RJ Barrett, and for a guy who was due for a massive payday and not give up any significant draft capital. I mean, that's a W on the surface for sure.
I agree. In a weak draft
it's a trade
class,
you have to make. If that's on the table, you have to.
Yeah,
you have to take that.
I'm with it.
Agreed.
100%. Do we want to?
Let's talk about the Lakers fast.
Let's make it a quick thing.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we don't have to show up to the other LA team right now. We
just
will
the
in due
Lakers,
time.
Yeah.
The Lakers are 2-8 over their last 10.
Yeah, 2-8 over the
Come
last
on,
10,
man. Christian Jaimo, this is for you, bro. All that. What did I fucking say, man? What did I say? Cam Reddish, Jackson Hayes, Taurean Prince, Gabe Real Vincent. This is what was supposed to move me? Come on, bro.
Yeah, I mean, he don't even play.
You don't play.
He's been injured.
Come on, man. Come on. Jared Vanderbilt. Whoa. Jared Vanderbilt.
Really?
Come on, man.
You know what's sad? Austin Reeves is playing well, too. That's kind of
These guys are mid. Austin Reeves is playing well. LeBron and AD are playing fantastic. Those 3, I could leave them out of this, honestly. I have nothing negative to say about any of the 3 of them. But everyone else is fucking garbage. And we knew this, but we tried to fucking hype these guys up. Oh, Taurean Prince, he's this 3-and-D. No. He's an average defender and an average shooter. Cam Reddish has been nothing for his entire NBA career. He was going to go play with the GOAT and things were going to change. Do we know what happens when people go and play with LeBron? They forget how to shoot.
Yep.
But Cam Reddish was going to be the one who remembered? Come on now. Oh, but they got Jackson Hayes to back up Anthony Davis. Come on, man. You got Christian Wood. I like Christian Wood, but come on, man.
Yeah.
Those are your backup bigs. Those are the guys we're supposed to be moved by. Those are the guys who were supposed to play the role of JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard when you won the championship. Jackson Hayes and Christian Wood.
So
you got Taurean Prince. I'm not done. Sorry.
Oh, all right.
Taurean Prince. I mean, you're starting. They had a game where they started LeBron James, Anthony Davis. Cool. Those guys, MVP caliber players. Sure, start them. Taurean Prince, Jared Vanderbilt, and Rui Hachimama?
Stinky.
Bro, you started 5 power forwards. That's the starting lineup? 5 power forwards? Rui Hachimama at the 2? Are you serious? Are you fucking serious? I mean, we have Jared Vanderbilt. The Lakers were struggling a little bit, and people said, oh, well, Vando's been out. He's going to come and fix it. Bro, he averages 4 points per game. He might be the most useless non-center NBA player in the NBA right now. He is useless offensively. He doesn't do anything offensively. And I tried to tell this to people. It doesn't matter how good you are defensively. If you are that bad offensively, you cannot. It is 2024. It's not even, I can't even say, oh, it's 2023. No, it's 2024, the Mamba year. And we're talking about guys who can't play offense, can't hit a corner three, can't put the ball on the floor. Those are the guys who are supposed to be the complementary pieces for LeBron James in year 20? Are we serious? Taurean Prince. He's had, 2 good years in his NBA career? We thought he was going to go play with LeBron and be this three-point sniper. Again, what do people do when they play with LeBron? They don't shoot.
Yeah, Vando's really cooking this year, man.
He sucks. He sucks, bro.
2.7 points per game.
2.7, bro.
36.2% from the field.
And how many minutes does he play?
18.
18 minutes a game. You're
Guess
not
what
even
he's shooting
averaging
from
3
three?
points. Sub 20?
0.04.
Keep going, buddy.
Sub 10? Sub 5?
No.
All right.
7.1%.
7.1%. I mean, listen. The title of this is Darvin Ham cooked, and
He's horrible.
Yeah, I'm gonna. You guys could take that one. Like I said, he started 4 power forwards, so that speaks for itself. But
Yep.
this is deeper than Darvin Ham. This roster construction is dog shit. They had a Mickey Mouse run to the WCF last year on the back of a 39-year-old playing, and Anthony Davis playing historic. Anthony Davis was playing historically. He was playing. People were talking about, is this the best defensive playoff run since Hakeem Olajuwon? That's what it took for this team just to get to the conference finals. And we thought Taurean Prince and Cam Reddish were going to get them back
I
there.
don't think Torian's been a problem. He's been good for them.
He hasn't been a solution.
He's not good.
What the fuck do we expect him to be?
He's a bad defender. He's not a good defender.
It's just that like
He's toast,
He's
bro.
a good shooter.
they were hype about.
Well,
Taurean.
because when you can't play Vando at all because he's useless, now your next guy to be your defensive stopper is Taurean Prince.
Well, to be fair, Reddish has been a good defender.
Reddish
If there's
sucks
been
at-
one, he's horrible offensively.
Reddish had like
he's
3 good games in the in-season tournament. Round of applause. Everyone clap it up.
No, again, he's terrible on offense. He can't shoot. He can't,
3 good
can't
games,
score.
bro. He's not even that good defensively. He's okay. He can move a little bit. He
not
can
that-
move better than fucking Taurean Prince. He's not in quicksand like Taurean Prince, but I mean you have no point of attack defense. You really have no rim protection outside of AD. And I know AD is great and he could do it by himself, which he is doing it by himself, but this team lacks offense. They lack all the same problems from last year, honestly.
They have
All
to
the
make a
things I said about them after that fucking trade last year that I wasn't bought in, but I let Jimo talk me into this shit. I really did. Witness King James. I let him talk me into it, but he's seeing the truth now. He's seeing the truth, and part of that is Darvin Ham. I don't know if you guys have anything to say about Darvin.
No, yeah,
Ham.
Darvin. It's just to me, it's like this is going back. This is going back to last year. How I don't know another head coach that can't find a lineup that he trusts. This guy throws out 3 guards and then LeBron and AD, and then he throws out 5 power forwards.
5
Like it just, and I know, like you said, the roster construction isn't great, but I don't think he's helping them. He's not allowing them to establish any cohesion at all. As far as a move to be made, I'm going to break it to you, Lakers fans. Nobody fucking wants D'Angelo Russell and a couple of first-round picks. Nobody
It's
wants
not
it.
even him. It's gone downhill since he went out of the lineup. He was honestly the only bright spot.
Yeah.
It's not even him. Keep him.
No, I'm not saying he's the prop, but like that's
know,
what
it's just
That's
crazy
just
that
not
that's
getting
the
it done.
trade package that everyone thinks is going to solve their problems. It's not. It's not. Like it's just.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate Duo either.
I don't. Yeah, no, I don't. I don't hate D'Lo. Let me.
think
let
he
me
I
not-
fits
mean,
well.
it's malpractice what this dude is doing with Austin Reeves minutes too.
Holy
I mean,
fuck.
just play the guy, bro. Just play him 35. You're gonna fucking play year 20 fucking 40-year-old LeBron 38 minutes a game, but Austin Reeves can't sniff 30.
Yeah.
I mean, really?
That's my biggest issue.
Really?
Darvin Ham's got to go.
So we could give Vando more minutes. So we
Right.
could give Cam Reddish and Taurean
Yep.
Prince more minutes. Come on, bro.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Come on.
So Darvin Ham's got to go, but yeah, the issues don't stop there. Is the problem?
That's my issue. It's like, all right, yes, like Darvin Ham, criminally terrible job. He was never. Jimo was one of his tweets. I mean, his story today. Holy shit! Did you see the Witness King James?
did not.
Bro, it might have been like 50 stories long. He was really in his fucking bag.
I don't
today.
blame. I mean, I
He
really
was
don't blame
in
him,
his
bro.
fucking bag today, but
Nah, it's
one
rough,
of them
bro.
was damn, I forgot where I was going with that train of thought. But okay, yeah, you get Darvin out of there.
He doesn't do anything.
Who's the next man up? Like, who's the intern that's next up?
I don't know.
Phil Handy.
I don't know. Is
Like-
there a coach that's out there somehow, some way that you could give a call and
I don't know.
like just retired or something like that?
Can't think of-
That's out there because maybe there is.
Can't think of the Sean Payton of the NBA.
Because I don't know. I really don't. But
Unless
Like,
you-
is there a coach out there that's gonna? I think this team's better than 500. Actually,
Yes.
Like, don't get me
Oh, yeah, yeah.
my panties in a twist. Like, this team's better than outside of the plan, but even with a coaching change and some slight schematic changes, I really don't think this roster is championship worthy.
I mean, yeah, the coach isn't going to make
I-
Cam Reddish and Torian Prince. hit
I
shots.
really let everyone talk me into it in the offseason, you know. But no, I mean, what? You get a new coach, so what? They're going to make Jared Vanderbilt good at basketball?
Yeah,
Going
exactly.
to make Torian Prince not run like he's fucking running in quicksand? Going to make D'Angelo Russell not make bonehead plays here and there? Going to make Cam Reddish good at basketball? How many coaches do we need to fucking try out with Cam Reddish?
well, he's done. He's
Right.
cooked. His NBA career is pretty much cooked. Like he'll be at an end of the bench. He's not getting a rotation.
What, a new
shot
coach
after
is going to
this.
make Jackson Hayes and Christian Wood these physical backup
I think
bigs, you know?
I think they have to. They simply have to make a move. They do. They have no choice. I don't know, but it doesn't have to be star players. It doesn't have to be Zach LaVine. It
So-
doesn't have to be big name. It has to be a couple moves on the margins. That's it.
It's amazing to me that I would see so much of trade D'Lo for Zach LaVine, trade D'Lo for Zach LaVine. And it's like, first of all, that's not possible. You can't trade D'Angelo Russell and a picks for Zach LaVine financially. You can't do it.
No,
And people, it's just so funny.
I wouldn't even be against the idea of say like a Gordon Hayward and Nick Richards, and I think that would help this team immensely. Personally,
Yeah.
that simple. I don't
need a
think it
backup
costs
big.
much. Nick Richards would be fucking beautiful for this team. Gordon Hayward, same thing, because he could shoot the shit out the ball still, and he's a secondary playmaker. So I just that's where I'm
Get
at.
him and Terry out of Charlotte.
Put Gordon Hayward in any goddamn on
Yeah.
any contender at
Yeah,
this
get
point.
him and Terry out of there.
But yeah, that's where I'm at. That's all I really have to say on this. Darvin Ham needs to be canned, and they need to make one move around the margins.
I really
nothing
want
else.
to say it's over and they're cooked, but I said it
They're
last
not.
year and I ate my words. So, like,
And I picked them to make the finals, so
yeah,
I'm backing it.
I'm gonna give. This year, I'm gonna try and like learn from my mistake, I guess, and give them the benefit of the doubt.
It's
because-
Braun and AD. It's that simple.
Yeah, but last year, and we could leave it at this, I guess. But last year, the stars kind of aligned perfectly for them, where the right players were available at the right
Yeah.
time to make a move and put them over the top and fix a lot of their weaknesses.
Same could be said
I don't
right now.
know if I don't know is that the who's available. We don't really.
I'm just saying, some of these rebuilding teams you may be able to find.
Yeah, it's tough because last year, like, we knew who was available.
Maybe the Lakers make it. Actually, Laurie. ain't
Like,
gonna do it.
last year, we knew who was available. You know, we knew D'Lo was available. We knew Jared Vando was going to be available.
Yeah.
Like, we knew who was available. We knew Russ was going to be gone. Who is the odd man out on the Lakers right now? Is there one guy that you trade and put someone else in that fixes everything?
I do think Rui, Vando, one of the power forwards, bro, because you don't need them.
All right.
So
It's just
I don't hate if Torian Prince is your backup. Is your backup power forward?
Yeah.
I don't hate that.
It's just, I don't, like I said, I don't want to count them out because I did it last year and it was a mistake. But I just don't know if they're gonna be able to have. I mean, they won the trade deadline last year.
Can you repeat
by
it?
a
Yeah.
landslide, yeah.
Right, that's like, it's the NBA, man. I mean, you're not gonna have a trade deadline like that every year.
No.
The chances are slim to none that they have a trade deadline that big. And do they need a trade deadline that big? I don't know. I don't know how bad it is, but it's bad right now, man.
Yeah.
First step is get Darvin Ham out of there.
Especially because last year, but some of the early year struggles last year was the AD stuff. AD was doing his thing early on last year, the inconsistencies and missing it. It's not that this year.
Anymore.
It's not either. Like, they're playing at all NBA levels.
The two guys that need to do what they're doing are doing exactly
so
what they need to be doing.
That's why I'm concerned, because last year, like, it was a bunch of other things too, for sure. A million other things. Russell Westbrook started the year there. Like, it was a million other things, but AD was also a part of it last year.
Yeah.
This year, he's not. So that's where I'm like, I don't know, man. It's not like last year where, they got better. They did what they had to do at the trade deadline. But like I said earlier, also AD was playing at Hakeem levels defensively in the playoffs, which, like, AD, he's not at Hakeem levels right now, but you know what I mean? He's already in that mode right now. Like, he's playing in that mode.
I'm telling you.
It's not like AD's going to get better, like, down the stretch.
I'm telling you, a smaller trade is really all it will take for this
I
team.
hope so.
I really do.
I want to see them compete.
It's better for the NBA?
Yeah, I don't want to hate them.
So
I have one TikTok that we could do before we close it out.
yeah,
Just
I'm trying to
something.
think of some,
Yeah.
but
Just something I drew up. So, yo, you wanna? No, my phone died. Yeah. Okay. That fucking sucks. But, all right. Who wins this hypothetical NBA 3-on-3? So the first one we have is the old school versus the new school. So we have, so random I made these up, like so random. Dame, LeBron, and Sabonis versus Shea, Tatum, and Sengun.
Oof.
the second one.
Yeah.
Crazy enough.
Give me the young guys.
Wow.
Give me the young
I'm
guns.
surprised you're not riding with Braun?
As much as I love Braun, I just think I really do think that the Shea Dame mismatch between the two of them, defense to offense, is going to change the game. Shea is literally one of the best isolation scorers we've seen in the last 10 to 15 years.
So the Celtics have
So-
no answer for him.
Nothing.
No one does.
With two of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA, by the way. So, yes, Shea is him. Been
All right.
trying to say that.
Yep.
All right, this next one, honestly, reading it now, it's going to be pretty lopsided, but it was just, I kind of went for two different archetypes against each other, but we have OG Anunoby, Jada McDaniels, and Jared Vanderbilt versus Paolo, DeMar, and Brandon Ingram.
Yeah, I mean,
You didn't
Yeah,
give us
that-
much of a
Yeah,
chance.
that one was bad. All right. The next one, this one's awesome. Jokic.
Okay.
With-
I know Embiid's on the other team.
Jokic with two average Joes that are Stephen Curry's height, or Stephen Curry with two average Joes that are Jokic's height.
nah, give me Jokic.
No, it has to be the Steph team because you have two 7-footers, so at least you could,
What
double.
do you mean?
What?
What do you mean?
The
Two average Joe 7-footers? This man cooked Anthony Davis in
No,
the playoffs.
I'm not saying that, but like
Two average Joes are gonna
But-
get fucking killed.
yeah, but two average, they still have a 7-footer on a
Okay.
6'3"
And
guy.
think about how much better though Jokic is going to make the two Steph size.
No,
average
I know,
Joes.
I agree. I
Jokic
agree,
is
and
the
I
best at making
So
people
it's not
better.
even that. It's
I
like,
get that, but like
am I
I'm doubling
picking-
Jokic. That's it.
I don't care. Am I picking the 7-footer to score easy layups, or like is Steph gonna miss a three?
Yeah, but
Probably not.
you seem to forget that there's a 6'3" guy guarding a 7-foot guy too.
So what,
That's a big deal. I don't care that they're average Joes. It's a big deal.
bro?
That is a big deal. I didn't think of that when I wrote this down. That is a mismatch.
That's a crazy
Bro, but
difference.
But they are average Joes.
Bro, that's
Bro.
what I'm saying. Like the
I could put
the
two
size does not
7-footers
matter.
around Jokic. I'll maybe have a better shot.
no,
at
you won't,
Bro. Yes, I will.
Bro, this man's go. Did you?
Okay,
did you
if
see
Steph
that?
takes a shot,
Did
bro,
you
I have
see
two
that?
guys that could potentially get a board that are 7 foot. The 6'3" guy ain't stopping shit at that point. That's where I'm at. That's what I have.
Man.
Two 7-footers is crazy
Come on, man.
for Steph Curry.
Average Joes against Jokic.
Average Joe's against Steph Curry.
No, I agree. But like, bro, I don't think you understand the ease at which Jokic.
I don't
gets
think you understand
balls.
the ease of a normal 7-footer versus a normal ass 6'3" guy.
Yeah, but at least you have Jokic and help.
No, you don't, because you have another fucking 7-footer that's right underneath the basket too now.
Give a fuck. Let the average Joe take as many shots as he wants, bro.
Exactly. So you triple Jokic.
Triple Steph.
Okay.
Eventually he's gonna run out of room to run, right?
No, you could just throw a lob to a 7-footer. That's simple.
Maybe.
That's simple. That's where I'm at.
All right.
That was a fun one.
That was good.
Is that everything?
That's everything.
That's everything.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Happy New Year to all of you guys. Happy holidays. Obviously, they passed and all that, but I hope you guys had wonderful ones. We are back, hopefully, God permitting, on a consistent schedule once again. So stay tuned. Again, thank you guys. Leave a like, subscribe.